Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Crafting a Chat with our good friends Adam, Genesis, and your boy Giuseppe Jones. We're outside in Stell's Arena again today, basking in the sunlight. For now, until it turns night.
Yeah, that's right above us.
So, how's everyone doing today? And what are you playing?
Good.
Doing
A
great.
lot.
Doing great. I platinumed Ghost of Tsushima. I finished it, platinumed it. So proud of myself. I think Dad over there is proud of me as well.
Good.
Boy, good. Otherwise, been playing Among Us a little bit here and there, but definitely was trying to beat Ghost before the Legends DLC drops this Friday. So I'm all good to go on that now. Platinum the game and I'm all set. I popped in Dreams, was going to start that, and that's what I've been playing.
Cool.
Yeah. Adam?
What have I been playing? Oh, I've been playing a bunch. Played a little bit more of Deus Ex. Not a lot. Kind of already don't care about that game. That Human Revolution. So that's understandable to everybody, I think.
Mankind Divided.
Yeah, that one. Same thing. Same difference. Stopped playing that one. Downloaded the Plus game of Need for Speed Payback. Been playing a little bit of that. I hate it because of the upgrading. Like I expected to just grind, get some money, buy some parts. Nope, it's grind, get some cards, randomly draw. Hey, you got a better part, you got a worse part, sell it. Okay, go back, do it again. So not every time you're getting something good, which kind of sucks. But I don't. It's a whole loot box thing. It's not that fun.
Right.
But it's scratching the racing itch that I've had the last month and a half or so. Now
That's good every now and then. You know.
Yeah, I'll finish it. I'm playing on my second account, so I don't have the trophies or anything, so I don't care about it. And then I jumped into Fall Guys Season 2. Did a little bit of that. I won 2 games. Once I played with one of our friends, the Infinite Vitalism guy right here, Kevin. Played with him. Didn't win with him. We only played for like an hour, then he got off, and then I got off. But then I hopped on like a half hour later. Played like a couple rounds, ended up winning, and I was like, alright.
There you go.
And then I played again yesterday, I think, or the other day. I don't know. With another friend, and ended up getting another crown. So I'm getting close to 20, getting that trophy soon. Got the trophy for the 500 qualifications, so that's pretty cool, I guess. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I know. The new season, it's more of the same, with some annoyances. Like you have to move blocks with R2 on a lot of the new stuff. It's mostly frustrating. It's basically like you're playing Seesaw on every game because a crowd just destroys you. If there's a bunch of people near you, you're either going to get real lucky or you're just going to be drowned with all the people. So it kind of sucks.
Outstanding.
But it's still fun. There's a gauntlet mode where there's no team games and it's all races. And that's fantastic. That's what I won on, and I loved it. And then I've been playing Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. Or Crimes and Punishments Sherlock Holmes. I don't know. Yeah. I borrowed that game from Kevin in 2017, February of 2017. Basically beat it and got almost every trophy within like a week. And I didn't want to go back because I had to do one. I basically had to replay the game. And I felt like it was long enough. I thought I would only have to replay part of the game. Looks like I have to replay the whole thing, but I'm doing a chapter at a time. So there's only 6 chapters, done 1 a day. I've done 3, so I should have the platinum by Friday or earlier, if all goes well. And then I bought Mafia 1, and I've the definitive edition one, the remaster. Been playing a little bit of that. It's got that old game jank, but I like Mafia, so I'm enjoying it. I'm not far in it though, but I like it. So.
Speaking of game jank, that leads me perfectly into mine. Currently playing Vampire, the PlayStation Plus freebie for this month of October. And I've definitely gotten to the point in the game where the jankiness of that game is really starting to get on my last nerve. The load screens. Oh my goodness.
PS5, baby.
My goodness. Load screens are horrible for that game. Number one. Number two, just the menu navigation. Getting in and out, it's just like a severe lag. Not just opening the menu, but going to the different menu sub-headings for crafting, for checking on the status of each district in London. I'm running into a ton of pop-in on the overworld map now that I've basically opened up a large portion of the map. So guys literally descend upon me like the wrath of God, and I didn't see them at all. They just boop, 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 and then I'm dead before I even see a hit register on me. So I'm not liking that. If all of those technicalities weren't there, I'd definitely be enjoying my experience much more. As it stands, it's definitely turning me real sour on the game. Real sour. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Nothing much else. Not too much opportunity to play much else.
Yeah,
So,
I've had a lot.
yes.
We have a question from the comments.
Yes.
Cork is back this week again. Which I think
Welcome back.
We missed him last week. I think I don't think we saw him last
No,
week.
he was here last week.
Well,
Or maybe I
welcome to
didn't know he
you.
was here last week.
Yeah, he was real quick, and then he left. And then because we were like, oh, we got to ask him why he leaves. And then we're
This
like,
is
we know.
this is a question for everybody. What are your music tastes like?
ooh, I can go first if everyone wants to think.
Oh,
What?
go for it.
I like classic '80s rock, big fan. But I really like almost all music. I like '80s, '90s rap and hip hop. I like literally everything. Pop, you name it. Like I'll be singing Beyonce one day. I'll be singing Twisted Sister the next day. I'll be singing Andre Bocelli another day. Like I'm basically, if it's got a good beat, I like it enough. So I'm pretty easy with music.
Fair enough.
Gotcha.
So
Giuseppe, you want to go or you want me to go?
Sure, I'll go next. I would say that I have a fairly eclectic taste in music. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Can't do country. Can't do old country. Can't do new country. With some caveats. Johnny Cash, A-OK. Waylon Jennings, A-OK. Outside of that, not down with the country. Love classical, especially when it comes to more modern interpretations of orchestrated music. So you can see some of the best examples right here in video games. Just seeing how orchestrations really add emotional dimensions to games in ways that I feel like are actually outclassing and outpacing those same kind of emotional beats in film. There's just too many examples to list, so I won't even begin. But if you're a fan of video games, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I love just about any. Honestly, I just love good music. I'm not a music connoisseur guy. I'm a movie guy, and in the world, in this world in which we all live, there are music people and there are movie people. I'm a movie guy. There may be few out there that claim to be both or neither, but that's all a false narrative. At the end of the day, there's only one or the other. There's not both. So,
hot take right there. I would say that was a warm take.
Yeah. There's a little sizzle. Go ahead, Genesis. It's all you, baby.
I don't really have a genre of music I listen to, but I will say I do not particularly like country. I don't really want to listen to country too much. I think the only country, I don't even know if you consider him country, Jimmy Barnes I've heard, because he's just all of the memes and all that stuff. That's basically the only country that I've thought of otherwise. But otherwise, I don't know. I listen to rap every once in a while. I listen to pop every once in a while. I don't know if there's a particular genre. Like I'll go from listening to K-pop to listening to some rock to listening to some heavy metal, then go to rap somehow. I don't know. I just have a very odd taste in music. I think similar to Giuseppe, I don't have like I'm not a big music guy. If it's playing and I like the beat of it, I'll listen to it. If not, I really don't care for it too much. But then when it comes to video games, there are some musical scores in video games that I just listen to and I'm like, it either makes my hair stand up and it sends a shiver down my spine where I'm like, this is amazing, or it doesn't belong in the game at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am. You give me a cell phone and I know which one I like. Give me songs and I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, you know, if it has a nice beat, I'll listen to it. Cool, bang, no problem. But yeah, that's what I have.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that, talking about like, you know, the way that games have kind of like had a little bit of an impact on music, and vice versa. I'm reminded of like all of the different adaptations they made of classical pop music for BioShock Infinite. Like the Beach Boys song and the Cyndi Lauper songs.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah.
those were actually really neat to hear, those translations in like, you know, the 20s and 30s turn of the century kind of like style with, you know, the technology they had at that time, but, you know, in that style with like barbershop quartet style. It's like, man, it's just really neat. I mean, it's the kind of stuff that obviously you don't necessarily expect of like cover bands, because, you know, cover bands just do their best to mimic the original sound and tone for the most part, with, you know, some variants here and there. But to see a complete reimagining in the true spirit of the remake, with some of those musical tunes that some games do, because, you know, it offers a brand new context to listen to that music in, is really, really cool. And I would love to see that continue to proliferate in games, and I believe that they will, you know, moving forward.
Yeah. Far Cry 5. I think you both know how much I like the music in that game so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's all original music with lyrics. It's all like, they have two different versions, like choir and like an actual singer. Like, so good.
Right.
It's in my Spotify. My Spotify's a mess.
Yeah.
Like, Spotify keeps recommending things to me, and I'm like, you think I would like that? And then I listen to it, and I'm like, all right, this isn't in English, but I like it. Like, it's all over the place.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. My taste in video game music, like I'll listen to the Devil May Cry soundtrack, and then I'll hear some of the old Fallout music that used to be humming and singing every once in a while. I'm like, this is great. Like, I just bounce from one thing to the next, and I'm like, what in the world do I even try and listen to?
Yeah, it's a mess, but
A lot of good stuff.
It's who we are, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, so that was a great question, by the way. It was really insightful.
Thank you very much,
appreciated
Cork.
that.
Any more questions, feel free and pop them in the chat. I'm always watching.
Also, tell us how long you stay for, why you stay, why you come back, why you leave, why you never stay the whole time.
I got another one. I will ask Cork the question, but so Cork says Giuseppe seems to enjoy movies. Thanks for pointing out the obvious there.
Well, it's obvious to us, but you know, you have to. Yeah. You have to figure it out.
What are your favorite movies, each of us?
Ooh, favorite movies. Giuseppe, I'll let you go first on this one.
I guess we'll keep it to top 3.
Top 3.
Oh God, I can't pick a top 3.
Okay, so
first of all,
I definitely have to say there are far too many excellent films out there, especially off the, you know, spur of the moment. But I always go to my favorite movie of all time, and my favorite movie of all time is Casablanca. Casablanca is the movie that made me fall in love with movies, and I watched it for the first time as like coming off of elementary school, going into freshman in high school. So obviously I had, at that point in time I'd been exposed to movies, but when I saw that movie, yes, it's dated, and yes, it's, it shows its age in some instances. However, despite all of its limitations production value wise, there is magic there, and it really turned me on to the power of performance in film. If you have a really good actor and you have some great lighting going on, you can make just about any movie work. And that movie works for me. Other films that I just super enjoy and I can watch at the drop of a hat at any time. T2, Aliens. I love the original Alien, but Aliens, game over, man, game over. I mean, sorry, that's just so quotable. The Big Lebowski, my goodness, more quotable. There are so many excellent films out there, and I can't. I literally have to sit and research it for a month for me to come up with a definitive, top 5, 10, 20 list. I can't. So anyone else can go ahead and jump in now.
All right. Genesis, you want to go? You go, Genesis.
Top 3 movies for me, or just top movies in general. I'm always a fan of the Marvel movies. Avengers will always be one of my top ones. I actually quite enjoy some of the older Disney movies. I actually like the original Lion King. I actually never watched Aladdin up until like maybe a year or two ago. The original Aladdin. I like that one a lot.
So good.
I really like that movie. On top of that, I would want to say any of the Dark Knight series. Definitely would watch those any time of the week.
So good.
I'm trying to think of any other ones. I don't know if this is a movie, but it is a movie. I mean, it's a film, but it's Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. I like that. That was actually really good.
That counts. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Great looking game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great looking game, great looking film.
Film, right. It's because it now looks like the game, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of one other one, and I can't off my head. The recent Dragon Ball Super movie. I absolutely love that movie, and that was one of the anime movies that I would pick up and watch at any point in time. That movie had such good animation in it, such good fight scenes. It was one of the Dragon Ball movies that for a long time they were on a steady decline because they just started to lose their production value in the movies. And this one just skyrocketed right back up, and I was like, that's awesome. I downloaded the 4K HDR version of it. I was like, man, this looks so good. But yeah, those are my some of my top movies that I really enjoy watching at any point in time.
Nice.
Cool.
My number one is easy. It's Batman Begins. I've seen the movie. I'm not going to even say the number here. I've seen it a lot. I watch it at least once a week. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
An obscene amount. It's ridiculous how much I've watched it. Sometimes, one time we were doing the podcast and I was watching it. It's not important though. That's not important. Figure that out one.
Right.
But yeah, that one I really like. There Will Be Blood. I think that is just one of the best films ever made. I know a lot of people are like, it drags a lot. I've seen that movie probably like 15 times. I don't know why, but that's another one I could probably just continue to watch all the time.
Daniel Day-Lewis, Force of Nature.
So good. Going comedies, I know I'm going to get a little hate for this. I really like the Juno. I thought that was a really funny movie, but so we're going to move on. I haven't seen it in some years. I have to rewatch it.
Why would you get any hate from that? That's. I think that film is well regarded. I don't dislike it.
Again, not talking about you two. We're on the internet.
Well,
so.
I'm just saying though. I believe that Juno is well regarded, but no.
Yeah, and then I like The Nice Guys a lot. I think that movie's really funny. Animated. All right.
Ish. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I love Russell Crowe and I love Ryan Gosling. Throwing those two together and putting clown masks on them, again, metaphorically, not literally. It's like, okay, but hey, as long as it's worked for you, that's what makes me happy.
It's literally my list. And then Moana. I really like Moana a lot. I like Moana. I like Moana more than I think anyone I know likes Moana. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm the daughter of the village chief. That's not important though. I really like Moana.
The original
Into the Spider-Verse. Sure. Spider-Verse, real good. Really, it's like probably the best, like, superhero film ever made, honestly.
The best super... No,
it's one of them. It's definitely one of them. That movie's amazing.
I would allow that into conversation, for sure.
This is quick. Like, I could name, like, Whiplash, older movies. When I was young, my favorite movie was The Mask. I'm sorry, Giuseppe.
The Mask.
But, yeah, I know.
Somebody
Son of the
stop him.
Mask. I saw Son of the Mask. Guys, don't ever see Son of the Mask. Jamie Kennedy, I hope you're out there somewhere and you're sad because you were in Son of the Mask. So, and probably other life choices. But,
well, you know that too.
Those are my movies. There's a lot more, like, I know I named, like, newer ones, but there's a lot more.
Desunoto chimed in with his favorite movies as well.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Dark Knight, John Wick, and The Conjuring.
Oh, okay. Oh, man, I didn't even mention The Raid.
The Raid Redemption.
The Raid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And The Raid 2, oh my god. Oh, what a wonderful theater experience. I almost brought up last week. Oh my god, so good. Those movies are so good. I've never pirated a movie and then bought like 7 Blu-rays.
Mm-hmm. Desunoto agrees with you. His favorite movies have been changed to The Raid and The Raid 2.
Oh yeah, baby.
That's funny.
Those movies are so good. Those are so good. Oh god. So
yeah, this
Raid
is how
3
you do it.
one day.
This is
one
how you
day,
do
maybe.
action. This is
Probably
how you do
not,
action.
but maybe one day. But John Wick, real good. I like 2 a lot as well. I like 3 more than 2. I know I might be in the minority on that. 3 I don't think was as well received as the others. I think people thought it was getting stale and the ending kind of sucked.
Honestly, I thought that Keanu was really starting to show his age in 3. I know he wants to do as many, if not all, of the stunts and you know, all the, you know, the fisticuffs, the gun fu and all that as possible, but he started to show. I really love the first one. The first John Wick. Great.
Yeah, I didn't see his age. Like, to me, he's always been a little bit stiff because of how long his arms and legs are. But I think it just works so well. I'm going to have to rewatch 3 because I haven't seen it since theaters. That's the only one I don't own on
also,
Blu-ray.
hey, and also, let's also not forget The Matrix. Forget the sequels. Forget the trilogy.
Matrix.
The first
Matrix is good. Yeah.
As a standalone film, honestly, that is one of those perfect standalone films. Didn't need a franchise, didn't need a sequel. Honestly, the whole story totally works from beginning to end, totally self-contained, and it was just beautiful. And it was revolutionary. It completely reset the standard for, for basically digital filmmaking for the industry moving forward, and basically the reassessing the standard for action sci-fi. It really pushed the envelope.
Quark's got his favorite movies in here.
What are they?
Quark's enjoyed Logan, Prisoners, and The Little Prince.
Wow, he's a big fan of Hugh Jackman.
Yo, Prisoners. Let me tell you about Prisoners. That is an intense film right there. Honestly,
Riddler's in there.
It's the kind of movie that I want to go and I don't know, crawl into a dark hole somewhere. Not just because that's where you essentially leave, or where Mr. Hugh Jackman's character is essentially left by the end of that film. Spoiler alert, if anyone is on there.
It's too late now, but
yeah, who cares? But man, an intense performance film right there. They're going back to what I was saying earlier. Intense performance, but man, you got to be in the right mood for it, because if you're not feeling too hot that day, you might turn a little suicidal come the end of that film. So, not to joke about suicide or anything like that, but it's a very dark film, and it's meant to put you in a very bad mental state, but intense. Prisoners, yikes. Good film.
Highly
Great
recommend.
film.
Really, really good film. Highly recommend looking up the poster of that. Hugh Jackman looks like Ethan Mars and Heavy Rain on the poster.
Jason?
So much. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Jason.
Desunoto's adding a couple more. Joker, I Am Legend, IP Man series.
Okay.
Ip Man?
The first one's great. The second one involves too much wire work. The third one's a little bit better. Don't like it. Didn't watch the fourth. And I think they're on the fifth now, and it's over. No, I can't. continue.
It's a lot of.
But
Man,
I
I
respect
love Donnie Yen. I love Donnie Yen.
Everyone does. Everyone should.
Yeah, he's a very likable guy, and he's he does his work for sure. What was the other ones that he said? I'm sorry.
A Joker and I Am Legend.
Those are choices. I really like Joker. Joker, I think, is a really good movie. I've seen it a few times. Good soundtrack in that one. That's actually one. If we're talking about like music and stuff, I actually on my Spotify have the Joker soundtrack. And I Am Legend, I like it. The ending ruins the whole movie for me. Both of them, I think they're both terrible. They clearly had no idea what they were doing. I know it's based off a book, but that ending just falls apart for me. Also, the Batman v Superman tease in that, it was way too early, and it got me excited for too many years.
Right.
Just saying.
There was a Batman v Superman tease in that movie?
Yeah, there's a Batman v Superman poster in it.
When they're in Times Square, he's Yeah.
What the hell? I've never seen that. Okay, Cork also added, we can't forget about the Hangover trilogy.
The Hangover...
Honestly, I could go ahead and forget about it right now. I've forgotten about it in T-5, 4 up, already forgotten. Sorry.
I saw the first Hangover in theaters with family, and my family... It's not a family movie, but my family enjoyed it way more than I did, and I still thought it was okay. I thought it was funny. It's just not my type of humor. Hangover 2, I didn't like at all. I didn't like how Stu or Ed, whatever the hell that character's name was, the dude who pulled out his tooth, I didn't like how he was getting married to some different lady and not the baby lady from the first one. So I was already going into it upset.
Ed Helms you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. I think his name's Stu in the movie.
Right,
And I have no connections to these characters whatsoever, and I was like, why is he marrying her? That's messed up. But, yeah. And then 3, I don't even know if I ever saw 3.
Desinato added, he liked the original ending for I Am Legend, gave a whole different meaning to the infected.
Yeah, it did give a different meaning to the infected, but at the same time, like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, they're alive. They're alive, and they clearly feel and they love, and like you should feel bad for killing them, but also they would try to murder him.
Right.
I think either way, that movie for me was just, I didn't like the ending either way. I agree with you.
I honestly, not another dog killing in that one. You know what I mean? Will Smith kills a dog. Not enough. Not enough time.
Need to. Any opinions on the Rocky franchise from Cork?
Well, the Rocky franchise continues to go on with, I believe. Well, we're counting the Creed films, correct? As part of the Rocky.
Yeah, I would assume.
Okay.
Is that part of the Rocky timeline?
Yes.
Yeah. That's Apollo's son.
Well, I don't think he's seen them. So.
I have not seen. Yeah, I've not seen. I didn't know that. That's why I didn't see him.
I would say it's an amazing accomplishment to know that there even is a Rocky franchise, considering where it started through the singular efforts of Mr. Sly Stallone, having written it, won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay for Rocky, and viciously lobbying the filmmakers to be cast as the titular character.
He wrote that? I didn't even know he wrote that.
He's an Academy Award-winning writer for that film. So Sly Stallone is singularly credited with the Rocky franchise for all the right reasons in the world, and he made that franchise the franchise. As it stands, though, pretty sure the franchise peaked against Mr. Drago, Ivan Drago in Rocky IV. And it hasn't really ever come back up since.
Creed was probably the closest it came.
The Creed films. The Creed films are great, no question about them. I like contemporary boxing films every once in a while, even though I don't particularly care for boxing as a sport, as an entertaining sport. But boxing films can be quite entertaining. But they haven't. In my opinion, they have not come back up as powerful as Rocky IV. Because, I mean, for crying out loud, they were trying to do some kind of, geopolitical commentary. It's like, hey, bridging the gap between East and West and trying to find, commonalities and from completely different ideologies at that point in time, and honestly probably still to this day. So I mean, hey, the Rocky franchise in general is a great thing and a huge accomplishment for Sly Stallone for everything that he did to create it. So thumbs up to the franchise in general, but it definitely peaked at 4.
I think what we're trying to say is Rocky is good, but it's a little rocky now.
A little rough around the edges.
Exactly.
Slightly, only slightly.
Any
No, but
more?
it's
We
good
got
stuff.
any more?
That is it so far, guys. I'll let you know if anything else is here.
Cool,
All right.
like it. Hey,
Good
so
stuff.
let's slide into like some kind of formalized topic of conversation. So because nobody else really put anything out there before we started broadcasting, I want to know what the panel has to say in regards to the Marvel's Avengers game, the multiplayer live service game that seems to be having some trouble maintaining a player base. What is it? Around 1,000 players on Steam per day. So therefore, people are
real
having,
low like that.
they're having a lot of trouble.
Is there more information on this, or?
Well, other than the creators are desperate, trying to get people to re-engage with it, saying, "Hey, don't worry. We're." I believe they put out a statement recently saying that, "Hey, don't worry. The new content that's coming out is totally going to bring everybody back, and everyone's going to be super psyched about it." I don't know. I mean, like that. One of my biggest issues with live service games is that live service games very rarely have anything awesome to say about what's happening now in the game. It almost always seems like they're talking about what patch fixes that they got, rebalancing issues, and what's coming down the pipeline in terms of events or new chapters, DLC, what have you. It's always the promise of a better tomorrow as opposed to focusing on today. And it seems as though that whatever came out of the package for the Marvel Avengers game doesn't seem to really have the stuff to sustain interest, and the community is showing it. I mean, like, honestly, you don't get that few concurrent players running your software unless you really have kind of a dud on your hands.
So let me provide a little bit of clarity or context in this. It seems as though the PC player base is really the only one that is actually
Low.
Very low. Comparatively to PlayStation's player base, it's about and again, I don't know how exactly accurate these numbers are, but this is from GameStat.com here looking at this. So as of October 4th, the total player count's 1,900,000 players. Returning players are 630,000, and they rate this based on returning players who have at least earned one trophy in the last month.
What?
So
that's very inaccurate. Those are not at. I don't know what you do with that numbers. One trophy in a month? That doesn't mean that there are 600,000 players engaged with that game. Not a chance.
So I'm assuming this is people who have at least earned the trophy in the last learned one trophy at least in the last 30 days.
You mean earned, not learned?
Earned.
I learned my trophy.
Oh, you said learned.
Oh, I'm sorry, maybe the way it sounded. So that's what I'm looking at here. I can check the Xbox numbers, but it seems like the PC numbers are the lowest, and they attest this to a couple things. There's very little end game content apparently. The things that you do in the game are very panned out to be straightforward and linear. So like once you're done with them, you're done with them. Like there's nothing else to do with them. Unlike Destiny, where you can go in there. There's farmable locations. There's ever-changing locations. There are updated locations. Nothing seems to be changing in Avengers from what the internet seems to be saying about this game, and that's not just coming from the PC base. That opinion is coming from everywhere, but it seems as though the PC base is the lowest base out of the three, which is the Xbox, PlayStation, and PC base.
Which is quite honestly the worst place that you'd want a low user base, because that's your widest market. That's your largest market right there, is PC.
Yeah.
Typically, yeah.
Yeah, typically it is.
So I would say, based on that alone, I think it's not a far cry to make a reasonable presumption calculation that the consoles aren't doing. They may not be doing as poorly, but they probably aren't doing gangbusters in terms of player engagement, interest, actually running the software. And I know you guys, you enjoyed a couple days playing that beta, and we talked about it a little bit on the podcast here.
Definitely should have tried.
I wouldn't say enjoyed.
Okay.
No, you should have definitely tried it though. Giuseppe, I think if you had tried it, not to say that because you would have enjoyed it, no, but so you understand, I think, where he comes from when he says that.
So
yeah, I enjoyed my time with Genesis. In the game, like Genesis and I could have just stared and talked to each other while watching somebody else play the game, and I probably would have had a better time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, not to say the game's bad. The game's just not. When it launched, it just wasn't done. This is a game that clearly was not done, and I think a few weeks ago they had patch notes that addressed like over 1,000 issues in the game, and that still doesn't fix most of the issues.
Sure.
But a player base being down, it's probably because it's getting close to the end of the gen. People are saving up, so people probably didn't buy it as much as they hoped. Also, money's tight. Talk about that. Giuseppe, you bring that up almost every time we do one of these.
It's real. Yeah, it's real.
So, I mean, they add some cross-play,
but this is the thing.
and they put it on Game Pass, it'll explode again. Like, it'll fix itself.
It
eventually.
may, but at the end of the day, it also has to be a good game. And everything that I saw about the Avengers game, from a gameplay perspective, I have no idea what the ambition of the story, if it's interesting, if it's even something worth your time, if it's even worthy of the kind of story that they would put in the books. Who knows? I have no idea about that. But from the gameplay footage that I saw and all the promotional stuff they put out prior to launch, nothing about everything that I saw there did anything, like, nothing excited me about that game in terms of playing. And honestly, knowing that it was a live service, pairing that idea with the kinds of footage that they released, honestly, it just harkened me back to the Division beta, the Destiny beta, and just about any other kind of live service multiplayer game that had come out in recent years that I dabbled with, just to see if this time was going to be the time that I was going to really, enjoy it and get into it. And I was like, no, this is just dumb. It's just mow through trash mobs, get some loots, grind out levels, grind some more loot, more trash mobs. Like, none of that's just numbing gameplay to me. And for an IP that features the world's greatest heroes, the Avengers, and what? How many supervillains do you fight in that game? Like 2 or 3? That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Okay, in a comic book video game, where you're literally, I believe, you're kind of like going around the world, right, to all these different locations.
Yeah.
Isn't that?
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah,
So guess what? There's a whole lot of supervillains in the Marvel universe that are all over the world. Guess what? Well, you know what would be interesting? If you actually got to fight some of them. That's ridiculous. Trash. I'm sorry. The trash. This is going back to like maybe a little play off of my whole fanboys. Trash mobs must die. That's going to be. That's legitimately trash mobs should die. This is this week's phrase of the week. Trash mobs must die in video games. Because of this. This Marvel's Avengers game is not the perfect example for it, but it is the most recent example for it, and why trash is just horrible as a gameplay mechanic. just hate it.
2 more things of context here. Currently, the Reddit, that is the Play Avengers Reddit, where the unofficial Marvel's Avengers Reddit is, it's 49,000 people who have joined this Reddit. Currently, at this point in time, there are only 975 people playing.
Okay.
So that for the hardcore, that doesn't seem like a lot. I gotta be honest with you. Even for like a casual, like a lot of people are on Reddit now, like to load it up and join. That doesn't seem like too many.
No.
For the playing now, like, I don't know how do they know? Like, how does your Reddit know that you're playing it if you have a PlayStation 4?
You connect your Reddit to your PlayStation account or your Xbox account or your.
And it automatically can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's how the hell does that work? Because my PlayStation account is connected to my Reddit, but I don't think it can show what I'm playing.
You would need to join the certain Reddit, like the God of War Reddit, for example. It'll tell you how many people are playing currently God of War.
Wow, I had no idea that was a thing.
Also, matchmaking is broken. So.
But yeah, no, the game is still filled with so many technical bugs. Like there's so many. Like if you just go on Twitter and you type in the Avengers game, maybe 6 out of 10 tweets about it are about issues.
Yeah.
And the other 4 are like, I'm having fun, or I can't wait to buy this and play it on next gen. Well, I know people are waiting for next gen for that game because it's already confirmed that loading times are fixed. The game is being like corrected or whatever. It'll work. We don't know if there's cross-gen play. There's still no cross-platform play. I know that's been wanted by a lot of people.
The cross-gen play was going to happen no matter what game you had via PlayStation side. Am I wrong about that?
You might be right. I honestly don't know. As far as I know, they haven't confirmed anything. It's certainly possible that they have. I don't follow the game closely enough.
Yeah.
But
next gen is going to save that game. A better game.
No,
it's
not.
A better game.
No, I'm not saying it's going to save it. It'll help with the long-lasting life.
I don't know, man.
And they have content planned to be coming out, and they'll patch it. It'll get better and better. Like
people are saying the Spike's going to come back with Spider-Man on PlayStation side.
I guarantee you, that'll definitely help.
Also, before we continue, Mr. Klopto has jumped into my chat, and he's desperately petitioning Adam to join. You're in command of that, but I had already suggested to him that it's probably not in the cards.
I mean, I'm in the middle of doing something, so it's going to be tough for me to do that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Well, I don't really look at my phone. Plus, it's charging right now.
It's all good. Anyway, getting back to Avengers really quick.
Is there something specific, though?
No. He wants to join Minecraft.
Oh, no,
that's a no. There's going to be a
no.
transition after this, because I have another question from Cork, but keep going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, again, but just really quick off of the Avengers thing. Yes, Spider-Man, whenever he drops, the people are going to surge on that because, yes, that's the power of that character. Chances are he's probably going to play very, very similar to, at least from what I've seen, similar to, like, Black Widow style. Just seeing how she kind of traverses the map, and they'll probably, like, extend the whole web-slinging aspect of it.
It could be like Miss Marvel, because she actually swings from stuff with her stretchy arms.
Oh, does she? Okay, well, then that's a thing, too. But they just need a better game. And turning the Avengers into a looter shooter, that's... No.
No. It should have never been that. The original concept of this game looked cool, and then when they went on to say it was a live service game...
the original concept was it being a live service game. You mean the original, like, what everyone thought what it was going to be?
That's
seemed
what I mean.
Cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I'm sure there was a concept originally that it was like, what if we just make a single-player mission? And then Square Enix was like, yeah, but how do we make money forever? So, and then it turned into this.
Well, actually, it was more Crystal Dynamics who does that, because they want to do the same thing with...
And Crystal Dynamics is owned by who?
I understand that, but Crystal Dynamics is the one who mans, like, Lara Croft and things like that. You don't really see Square Enix's name on those. They have Eidos and Crystal Dynamics, which, yes, I understand. They're owned by them. I understand
I feel like.
Yeah, Square needs to get their quality control board on top of
Yeah.
things, and maybe they can fix Marvel's Avengers. Maybe.
They're the big dogs on top there, so it really comes down to them. Like Crystal, they've developed and stuff. Props to all the people who worked on the game, and I'm sure they were like, we want to delay this before it came out, and Square was like, no, you got to get this out. You got to get this out before next gen or something. They should have just delayed this till next gen.
Another
should've.
another phrase that you should almost always attach to live service game is rush to market. An incomplete game, broken game, just get it out there because we need to start cashing in quick.
Yeah,
you should
in
always
some ways I
tie
get
those
that.
two things always together. And it's a mistake. This is why everyone out there should be very, very hesitant about the new next big live service game, because quite frankly there are very, very few licenses out there as large as the Avengers, and even that is not enough to save this current product that's out there right now, just by virtue of the strength of the IP. Forget the
Also,
game, forget the mechanics.
Yeah, just wait. It'll get updated and get better, hopefully. If not, it'll be gone and you won't have to play it. So
Yeah.
problem solved.
Cork has to apologize for making this transition, but he wants to know what are your thoughts on Black Mirror?
I actually have never watched any of Black Mirror, so I have
Really?
no thoughts. Yeah, I have none.
Steffi, have you watched Black Mirror?
Yes, I have watched. I'm not all.
Yeah,
Definitely
I'm not caught
watched.
up either.
Definitely watched a few. I got to tell you, really good stuff. Good imaginative stuff.
I really like Black Mirror. There's maybe one or two episodes that I don't like, but yeah, I really like it as well.
Yeah, this is like the true proper like updated Twilight Zone. This is what Black Mirror is. With today's sentiments towards edginess and social commentary and being like just going right for the jugular with what they're trying to say. Very artistic, lots of really cool visual design aspects to it, but oh my goodness, that one with the British Prime Minister, man.
Oh, dude, my God! I saw that. I was like, bro, what are they trying to do here? I think the one with the museum.
Oh yeah.
Yep, that was messed up. I was like, bro, what in the hell is going on here? And then the one with the chick from Jurassic World and the karma system for society.
I don't think I've seen that one, but I kind of know what you're talking about. But
Giuseppe, that is a main watch. Definitely watch that one. That is like as close as it's going to hit to home at this point in time.
I believe it. Yeah, but Black Mirror, great stuff. I mean,
very good show.
Good for them. Keep going forward with that. That's all. And I love they're all just their own self-contained thing. It's not necessarily like a
the one where you can record your own memories and watch it back.
Right.
That one's really good too.
I don't think. I mean, I haven't seen a ton, but of the ones that I have seen, I've never left it saying, "Oh man, well that was a dud." No, I mean that's
a dud, but otherwise they're all pretty good.
Yeah, it's good quality stuff. Good quality stuff. I do enjoy.
Transition back now. Transition back.
All right, what's the transition back? Bring us back, Genesis.
We were going to actually talk about the teardowns of these consoles now.
Do it. Do it.
So the PlayStation 5 teardown, as many of people have seen this, I think what is the count up to? Like 6-7 million people have seen this now.
Yeah, it's over 7 million now. 7.5. I think.
Yeah. There is no official teardown from the Xbox side, but there are people tearing down the console. There's also unboxings. There's also warehouses full of them. But the teardown of the PlayStation 5 has just been getting so much traffic from YouTube, from Twitch, from the news outlets and all that cover gaming. All in all, this console looks just monstrosity, like a big monstrosity. It looks amazing.
Huge.
It's huge. The interchangeable faceplates make me excited to see if third-party people are going to do this. Like, hey, get your faceplate for whatever game you want, of Ghost, of Crash, of Last of Us, whatever, changed the faceplates. The dust collection areas are ingenious. I think there's still going to be dust in other places of the console, obviously, but
yeah, they
those
said
are
that
good.
it's not 100% guaranteed, like it'll clean out all the dust, but they're like, hey, just vacuum this out like every couple months or whatever, it'll be good.
Absolutely. The that'll be even easier to keep your console well maintained. The fan is gigantic, which I expected because they have to have a very good cooling solution from
double
PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3 issues that they've had. I don't know what it sounds like. Most people are not reporting that it sounds like a jet engine, so that's also a plus. Or not most people, I'm sorry. The people who have gotten their hands on it, like the Japanese.
In Japan, they were in a closed environment for like a few hours with it. They said it never got loud, but at the same time, like, I can't imagine this thing gets loud. But we just have to wait until like we either have it or like other people get it, so we can hear about it. But it's got to be quiet at this point with how big that heat sink is and how big the fan is and how tall and the machine is. Like it's got to be quiet.
I would assume so. The heat sink is enormous. They did a comparison with the PlayStation 4 Pro and the PS4 heatsink. Absolutely enormous. If this thing does not, move your heat away from your chips, then I don't know what the hell is, what's going to do it for this console. But I think overall the console's teardown wasn't too bad as far as what I thought, except for maybe removing those little black borders around where the lights are. And you actually don't void your warranty if you take. So, like when you take the faceplates off and you have to remove the outer black shell of the console. I remember them pulling off the black. I don't know what you call it, but where the vents.
Oh, the plastic vents.
Yeah.
They just pull it off.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that when I saw that I was like, I don't know how well that's gonna.
They're probably screwed in because that video cut off like a lot of screws. They're like highly edited. Because at the end, you can see all the screws on the side.
Right.
So, and then, like, when he takes the one screw out of the fan, like, there's 3 other screws they don't show him taking out. Like, there's probably, like, 25 screws they cut out of that video.
Oh, yeah.
So, but, yeah, it's a big console. The SSD, you do have to go into the console to put it in, but it doesn't seem like it's that difficult to do. The stand is much nicer than I thought it would ever be.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't think we've ever had like a Sony included stand when you buy the console. Usually it's like a third party who makes it.
Yep.
Because this one they have to include it because you need it to stand up either way.
Yeah, it won't stand on its own otherwise.
Yeah.
The only other thing too, the back of the console also seems to have a USB. Is that an A or a C in the back? I know there's an A in the front and a C in the front.
It's an A.
A in the
it's
back.
a 10 gigabyte A.
Okay. Yeah, that was. I mean, compare that to the Xbox, which has the 2 A's in the front and the 1 A in the back.
I think it's 2 in the back. The 2 A's.
2 in the back and 1 in the front.
2 A's in the back, 1 A in the front, and 1 C in the front.
For Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Yeah, Xbox has got 1 A in the front and 2 A's in the back, I think. But I saw one of the comparison shots between the two, and they just, I don't know, for me, the PS5 just looks very articulated.
I don't care what the back looks like.
No, the inside, I mean, the teardown.
Oh, the inside, yeah, like, I saw something where it was like, it looks like Sony put everything inside, and then they just designed the console around it, while Xbox made a box, and then they just fit everything in it and stacked it.
That seems appropriate.
And I was like, that's a genius way to put it. I think first and foremost, I think the PlayStation 5 looks ridiculous. I still think it looks like it's massive. It is so large, and I think it looks ridiculous. But I'll tell you one thing, I can't wait until it looks ridiculous in my room. That's like, I know it looks stupid, but it also looks cool. The removable panels are exciting for the future. I'm curious as to see how easy it is to put those back on. They didn't show that as well. The man just disassembled a PlayStation 5 and then looked at us, and then he was like, bye. And then I was like, all right, put it back together now, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I would have to agree with that.
So he's probably. But can you imagine if he's still in that room trying to put it back together? Like, where the hell did this go? What the?
Where did this come from?
Shit, what? Okay, it's back together. Why are there 6 screws left? Oh no! But he probably knows.
They do seem to have a much better cooling solution this time around. But
well, the heat sink in the PlayStation 4 is literally the size of a small notebook.
Yes.
It's very tiny. The one in here is literally the size of maybe a keyboard.
Oh yeah, it is huge.
Yeah, it's very large.
I will say though, the biggest controversial thing that they've been talking about with the teardown of PS5 is the soldered SSD. With a lot of people saying, hey, that's not good because we can't change it out, and if that dies, your console's basically dead. And then some people are saying that's good for longevity because you now no longer have to worry about something going wrong with your SSD. It's embedded with the console and everything's in there. Plus, you can stack memory on top of it. So
also,
you get a 1 terabyte SSD. It's now 1.625.
What? No, you're breaking up, bro. That's not Genesis. That was you.
No, you're breaking up.
Genesis, do you hear me? I hear you fine. So it's on your side, Giuseppe.
Giuseppe, for a minute, I heard him break up for a minute. But anyway, so I'm sorry. Go ahead, Giuseppe.
No, that's all I was saying. I don't know why I'm...
What I was saying, though, the SSD being soldered to the motherboard, at first I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. But then I read about it, and it's not like an HDD. Those typically have a fail rate within 5 to 7 years. An SSD does not have that type of fail rate.
What is the fail rate for SSD?
I don't know. But an SSD lasts much longer than an HDD, just because of how it works, and it's just something that lasts much longer.
Well, there's nothing mechanical in it, so...
Yeah, but there is something about it that it helps it to last longer. Like, I don't know how it works.
Non-moving parts, because an HDD has to have a moving,
SSD has... Yeah, there's no moving parts, right? That's it.
Yeah, there's probably more to it than that, but yeah, that's probably the main reason. Again, I don't know too much, but it is nice to have, like, hey, if you want to expand it, you don't have to buy a 2 terabyte to get 2 terabytes. You only have to buy like a 1 point whatever terabyte to get 2 terabytes, because you already have that 825 that's already soldered to the motherboard, which is nice.
Yeah, that's
like that's really nice. It's basically, you can have that. You can put install an additional SSD, and then if you want, get an external SSD as well, or an external hard drive, and attach it to your console. Like, if you really wanted that many games on your console, you could put so much on here, which is really nice. But at the same time, like, I don't need too much, and I'm not worried about that SSD unless, like, I mean, ask me 5 years from now if my PlayStation 5 is dead.
Right.
So,
yeah,
I can't imagine that it'll be too bad. Plus, everything we do now is now saved to the cloud. Right. So even if the console goes down, like, I don't care. Like, I hope it lasts a long time, but if I want another one, I could literally... Like, if my PlayStation 4 died right now, I'd be crushed. Cry every day. Also, I'd be like, hey, guys, my PlayStation 4 died. Please continue the podcast.
There you go.
But then I'd log on to Amazon and buy a PlayStation 4 and be like, all right, that should be good for next week. But at the same time, like, all my saves are to the cloud. The games are in my library or on disc. It'll just take me like a few hours to download everything, and then I'm back to where I was.
Right.
Like, it's really not. It's not too much of a hassle anymore. It's expensive, but it's not too much of a hassle anymore, thankfully. Because I remember when my PS3 died. And we had cloud saves, but there weren't that many.
Right.
So, and then I lost almost everything. I mean, I still have all my trophies and stuff. Thank you. But
yeah,
I would have been crushed.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all we got on the teardown.
Mm-hmm.
What time are we at?
We're at 11.
Real quick, we can talk about backwards compatibility. Just real quick, because PlayStation finally confirmed that it's backwards compatible with every PS4 game except 10 of them. Joe's Diner, Afro Samurai 2, Hitman, the what is it, the Hitman Go Definitive Edition or whatever. Yeah, like there's 10 of them, mostly obscure games. Probably the most news outlets that ever covered them this last week. This week. So, but it's nice to get confirmation. And then they've also said like certain games will be boosted, and then a bunch of developers, like Sony first parties, were like, hey, this is going to be boosted. So we're going to get a beautiful Ghost on PlayStation 5.
Can't wait.
Last of Us, yeah, it's all PlayStation 5 compatible stuff. So very exciting stuff. Very excited about all that. So, but not too much. Not too much in regards to backwards compatibility. It's just nice to finally get confirmation on exactly, because it was such a mixed message for so long.
Yeah.
Like, hey, the top 100 games will work. Oh no, the top 100 games will be boosted. Well, it's more than 100. Actually, there's not really a number to it yet. It's just a bunch of games are going to be boosted. Most games will work. 99%. Well, 99% of over 4,000 is still like it's not a small number. I mean, comparatively it is. It's only 1%. But at the same time, like just give us direct information. And they finally gave that, which was nice.
Yeah, they're finally good about it and gave it. But Xbox aside, they've basically said that they are also backwards compatible, and I think nearly all is what the word they use. But they also decided to add in about how their games are able to double on frame rate. That's their terms, and we'll provide context for
not
those.
all of them.
Exactly, not all of them. And then
it just says certain games. It's similar to the boost mode, except it's native. But I don't know the difference.
Right. We were talking about this a little earlier, right before the podcast, and Giuseppe was talking about it as well as Adam inputting a couple things. But it's basically them saying, hey, it's not boost mode, but it's boost mode. Because
it's not boost mode because it's native. It's a different technology, and this gets into a territory where I don't think I have the technical understanding. I mean, I don't have the technical understanding at all. I know I don't. And I feel like some of us, even though others are better than me, I don't think we really fully understand how it works. So we can't, like we could say, I don't know how it works.
Honestly, from what, again, just based on a couple things, the history of the industry and its lack of transparency and its tendency to overhype as opposed to be real about the offerings of what its software and hardware can actually deliver to the actual game player on any given day. I would say those factors combined with this very, very vague conceptualization as to this frame rate boosting, I think that's a whole lot of nonsense. I'm sure it'll be able to do it or show that it does something like that for certain games. But I, at the end of the day, I just don't understand how an algorithm can add data, which is what you need for more frames, for smoother animations to make it go. It's not just a processing speed thing. It's not a resolution thing. You need more data to make those frames fly. And I'm sure the technology is basically going to be mimicking the best that it can do to give you the illusion of that frame rate more often than not. But I have to believe, just based on the industry itself and its history with talking about these things without leading, because honestly, if this hardware were capable of doing that, even semi-regularly, maybe with like a fraction of games that currently exist and ones that are coming out in the short term, like 25%, maybe even like 10% of their games, that would be a big selling point to a lot of people, because there's a big market for looking for frame rates. Frame rates is like a big deal for a lot of people, and if they're really capable of doing that kind of doubling frame rates and locking them at 60. Did they say that they would lock them at 60? No, they said that they would go up to 60, up to doubling, right? That's what they said.
Yeah, it's unlocked up to 60.
Okay, so again, that's also kind of like a little bit of an out right there too. It's just my main criticism of that is that they put that statement out there, and people are going to interpret that as, oh my gosh, it can double the frame rates, and that's not really what it's doing.
They're already interpreting it that way.
Right.
They're already interpreting it.
So.
Yeah, and that's on some people to make sure, like, you're aware. It's Giuseppe, and we always say, like, just make sure you're understanding what you're getting into. Read. Always doubt. Just
Always
press X to doubt.
Definitely.
And just do your research. Digital Foundry, I can't recommend them enough. They've been testing a lot of backwards compatibility games for the Series X. I think just the Series X, because they're one of the people who got a Series X like a month in advance, because a bunch of like social people got them, or media people got them. And they were like, oh, this game, it runs way better, and like, oh, frames on the Xbox One X, they were at 25 mostly, and on Series X they're at 50 or 48. Like, it's definitely improvements and stuff, but like, it's just going off the game engine is what they explain. They explain it way better than any of us here will probably ever explain it. So highly recommend going to them.
Video game analysis, is that what it is? Like, not degrees in video game analysis, but we don't understand.
I mean, they understand the tech, the hardware, the software. They get it. They're smart people. So, and I think they just hit 1 million subscribers too. So, highly recommend them. I've been watching a lot of their stuff. The last year, they're sponsored by like wireless mouses in every video now, they say. So I don't know if they're sponsoring other people, but that is a goal, sure. But highly recommend that channel. Really been watching a lot of them the last few months. So go there. So, I think to wrap this up, backwards compatibility. It's a nice bonus. Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
I don't really care about backwards compatibility.
Facts.
I want new games.
Facts.
I mean, I'm gonna play like some of these games that I know I'm gonna play Last of Us 2 on PS5, so I can clear out and get that platinum. Unless they do that separate trophy list again, I'm gonna be mad if that happens.
I don't think that's gonna be the case, because I think that
they haven't confirmed it.
I think of some.
You can transfer your saves through the cloud, but also some games to the PlayStation 5 version of the game, you can't transfer your saves unless the developer allows it. The wording on that is so messed up on the website.
Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't be playing the PlayStation 5 version of these games, though. You'd be playing the PS4 discs in the PlayStation 5, right?
Yeah, but like for like Spider-Man, that's being remastered, Miles Morales, even though there's a PlayStation 5 version of the game, it's a free upgrade, and Insomniac has confirmed that you can transfer over your save, even though it's a completely different version on the PlayStation 5. Spider-Man PS4 is being remastered, and that's a completely different game, and you cannot transfer your save for that one. It's very strange. I don't know why Sony has done it this way, and I mean, hopefully it'll go away in the next year or two. I mean, for me, it'll go away starting next month. But for everybody else, like, when they all eventually come across, if they do to PS5, like, I have no idea what it's going to be like. Like, oh, I played this game. Oh, I just bought a PS5. Oh, I have to start over in Skyrim? That sucks. But it should be fine. Actually, people are crazy, and they'll be like, I gotta start over on my 11th different version of Skyrim. I already started over. Let's do this.
Oh, man.
And then they just play. Like, who cares? It actually might not even work on PS5 because you know.
Skyrim on everything. Yep, Skyrim. Anywho,
oh my god.
But, also trophies were updated. That happened after.
That happened after. It did happen after.
Guys, trophies were updated. Platinums count for more. It's cool, but at the same time, you level up too quickly, so levels don't really matter unless you get to like certain points. So Sony, good job, I guess. Thanks. It's supposed to look better on PS5. PlayStation Blog France said that you can trophy track on certain PS5 games, and they took that down. Hopefully, they took it down because you can trophy track on everything, because it should be something very simple. But we'll see.
Should be.
We'll see.
Should be.
I'm 371. So.
I think I ended up going to 302 after the platinum from.
You did. Yeah, you did. And Giuseppe's 391.
There you go.
So. Yeah. What else?
Awesome. Good stuff.
What else you boys got? What do you got? Hit me with it. Damn.
I got the rumors of the week.
Oh,
There you
let's
go.
do the
Let's
rumors.
do it. Let's
That'll
talk about some
take us
rumors of the week.
somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. So the first one I think is more for Giuseppe here than anybody else.
Ooh.
So there is a YouTuber by the name of Grizz Gaming. He has had the luxury of playing both the Cyberpunk and Watch Dogs Legion's demo.
Mm-hmm.
And basically he has talked about both. I don't know. I guess he was at some detailing video, some video thing, and like he was able to play both of those. Those
Is this
were
like a
ones-
popular YouTuber?
I don't know. I can check him out and see what exactly his subscriber rate is. Give me 1 second here, and I'll tell you. What are we looking at here? This guy's got about 26,000 subscribers. Not really that popular. He's emerging, I would say.
It's not enough to go do that, but all right, we'll take his word for it.
All right.
But he has about 6 hours in each to combined of those two games playing.
Mhm.
And basically, his commentary about the game is that the world of Watch Dogs Legion feels more alive than Cyberpunk does. And to explain is in going in the depth of NPCs in the game and how they react to you, such as background detail, background NPCs, when you walk past them, what do they do, how they react to things happening in the game. He says that they feel more alive in Legion than they do in Cyberpunk. So basically where this is going is rumors that Cyberpunk's crowd system, which I think they've talked a lot about in the previous, what do they call those? The Night City...
Night City Wires.
Yeah, Night City Wires. That it's going to be very extensive, if I remember, or am I wrong about that? So like how the crowds react, are the NPCs going to react to you? Are they going to be more dynamic? Are they going to offer more lifelike things? Or did they not talk about that at all? Because I thought I recalled hearing about how NPCs are being extremely worked on in Cyberpunk. The rumor basically is that Cyberpunk might be facing another criticism against it, where you're comparing it to Watch Dogs Legion, which is not. I don't think that game's going to be, anything in any way.
Okay, so regarding NPCs in general, not having played Watch Dogs 2, only relating to Watch Dogs, the first one.
Yeah.
The NPC interactions that were happening in that game, again, Watch Dogs 1, not talking about the newer games.
Yep.
They behaved in a way that was basically typical of most NPCs in just any kind of open world game or any game in general. But it did have the enhanced element of the whole hacking, tracking system that Mr. Aiden Gravely voice Pierce was constantly being able to look up and see like a very quick flash of some vital stats as to who that person is by just viewing on their phone. Now, you couldn't actually interact with all of those NPCs, but it gave you a very brief flash of information for all of them. My guess is that they're going to expand on that for Legion. There's going to be a higher element of that to it. I don't believe 100% of those NPCs are going to be you're going to be able to interact with them in terms of like draining their bank accounts or messing up their phone stuff or whatever. My guess is just going to be a little bit more than what you've already seen formulaically speaking. But that to me doesn't mean that your NPCs are suddenly now, oh my gosh, it's like the real world now. No. That's not that doesn't make a quality NPC. Just to see them, like a whole mass of people run and scream their heads off because a car bomb just went off or something like that. That doesn't make the world feel more alive to me. What makes an open world, NPCs or not, more alive to me as a player is how much I can actually interact with them in meaningful ways, not just press X to get a nonsensical reaction or a dialogue quip from this person walking the street. Talking to as many people as possible that will give you new missions, that you can negotiate to get items, that will gain you access to different parts of the building. Meaningful interactions, and the more of them there are, that's what makes a world more lively. Not just the number of NPCs and the different ways that they are scripted to react to stimuli. It's meaningful interactions, not throwaway ones. Because quite honestly, you can walk up to anybody on the street in Legion or Cyberpunk, and you can try to get them to react to you. Maybe you you flash your gun to them, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, what's wrong with you?" And then they run away from you. Or they're like, "Hey, you don't flash your piece of me," and they flash theirs, and maybe it triggers a gunfight.
Right.
Maybe almost similar to what they did in Red Dead 2. Maybe something along those lines. That to me gets boring real quick. And honestly, it's a throwaway that people are just going to instantly forget after they've tried it once or twice, and then that's it. That doesn't make that. Those are not interesting, dynamic NPC stuff. It's about making the player experience enhanced, give you a better sense of progression, a better sense of exploration. That's what NPCs need to do. And so I don't know if this guy was talking about it in regards to that. My guess is he was probably discussing it in a more superficial way, saying just the crowds that just move in and out of the digital space in Legion probably do so in a more naturalistic way than they do in Cyberpunk. Because quite frankly, I'm pretty sure that you're going to have a lot of different density population-wise in Cyberpunk as opposed to Legion. Legion seems like it's going to be strictly focused in an urban environment, so you're always in the city, so there's always going to be a higher density. As opposed to Cyberpunk, there are going to be aspects of the map that are not always in Night City proper. You're going to be on the outskirts, and there's just not going to be as many NPCs available. So I don't exactly know what he means when he says something like that, but for
I think
me,
you were right on the head, nail on the head. I think when you were talking about that, because I skimmed through his video here and there, and I think I didn't listen to the commentary, but I'm looking at what he's doing. It sounds like it's exactly what you're talking about. He's not talking about actual meaningful things from the NPCs. He's just talking about the way the dynamic crowd reacts.
Yeah. So and that's I don't see that as an advantage towards Legion over Cyberpunk. Not that those two games are strictly competitive in any way, I would say. But whatever. I mean, people gotta.
They are releasing quite close to each other, right? Legion comes out end of October, and Cyberpunk comes out November.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I don't know. I think Legion is going to be SOL.
It's gonna be another Ubisoft game. I'll just leave it at that. It's gonna be another Ubisoft game.
Yeah, if I were them, I would really reconsider just kick it, and go in a time where it's less competitive, because people might be on board with Legion and they might stick with it for a week, but when Cyberpunk drops, they're gonna forget about it instantly. They're gonna jump on that and they're gonna stay on it for their sci-fi-ish kind of action for the rest of the year and well into spring.
Well, especially with the next gen version coming out next year spring as well, so that would be a lot of resurgence for that game coming back out.
Yeah.
All right, I got the second rumor going here, and this is going back to something we discussed a little while back, maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, when Xbox bought Bethesda. Apparently there's a rumor that they are here to buy one more. This comes from an actual podcast, Xbox Era. the podcast on YouTube. They have about how many subscribers they got here?
Two subscribers? Nice.
No, $3 grand about $3 to $4 grand about subscribers. So 3,000 to 4,000 people subscribed.
Were you saying grand?
Yeah, with 3,000 views on the video that I have up here. So basically, a couple of the guys are talking about this, saying that they have one more acquisition to announce, and the person that they're talking about, they had Tom Warren from The Verge as a guest in the episode, and Tom Warren quotes and says, "It feels like they're going to announce another acquisition soon. That's just the impression I get." And the person is who is, I believe, interviewing him, says, "I know that there is at least one. Like I did get told there was at least one more, but I didn't get told who it is yet. But yeah, there is another one."
Who were they told by?
Let me see.
Because for the Bethesda one, not even the Bethesda employees knew they were being sold to Microsoft.
Oh, they didn't even know that?
No, it was literally only higher ups. That's why that information did not leak.
Interesting.
So I'm curious as to who that dude's talking to. Also, the one who only seems reputable from that podcast, no offense to that podcast, he's the one where he's like, yeah, I would guess they would buy another one. It's probably because Microsoft said, we're not done buying studios.
Yeah.
So, like, this seems like just speculation on the podcast part, except one of them was like, I got it on good authority. They're buying one more. Don't know who it is, but they're buying one more. Like, we could say that now and be right.
Yeah, a lot of the rumors were Sega, but that did not seem to pass. A lot of people were thinking that during TGS they were going to announce. Yeah, they were going to announce
Honestly,
Sega, but yeah, I didn't think that.
I would say, I don't know. I mean, Microsoft has enough money to buy whoever they want. You know what I mean? So,
PlayStation 5.
So if they do, cool. I'm stunned that they haven't done this more often prior to this point in time. You know what I mean? I feel the move for acquiring Bethesda makes all the sense in the world for any company whose business it is to make and sell video games. Okay? Because unless you plan on just basically constructing a whole litany of first-party developing studios that will be making games for you to satisfy your product needs to the market, then simply buying them makes all the sense in the world. So that doesn't seem like a big deal one way or the other, because again, Microsoft can afford it, and it totally behooves them to do so if they don't actually, want to develop stuff in-house of their own accord. So follow the Disney model. If you can't create it, buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree. I have a rumor that goes right after that. Level 5, which is one of the companies that had made the Ni no Kuni.
It's not a rumor. If you're about to say what I think you're about to say, it's not a rumor.
No. So listen. So I believe they're only in North America right now because their Japanese studio shut down. The Japanese version of that shut down, and they're only available in North America right now. Or is it vice versa? Am I thinking?
Vice versa. They just closed the North American office. They're not bringing games over to America, as far as we know.
Yeah.
Anymore.
The rumor is that PlayStation is looking to bail them out and take them.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, that is the rumor. Because of this North America bailout, they are looking to see if they can
That's
acquire
the only reason for the rumor? Or is this just some dude is like, hey, they should bail them out, and somebody was like, yeah, you're right.
No. So because of the North American bailout, they've been there's been just some tweets going out saying that because of this, they're Sony's eyeing them to buy them.
Whose tweets?
Let me see if I can confirm for you.
Yeah, don't give me like the internets are whispering. Hey, I heard from a guy about another guy. There's a guy tweeting that it might come out, and then you find that tweet, and it's like, be cool if Sony bought that Ni no Kuni people. Like, but give me like a rumor that is a little substantiated.
However, I will say this: that does seem like if in fact Sony was in the market to acquire studios, that seems like a plausible thing that they would do. You know what I mean? Like, it's not nearly as large as, like, say, doing something crazy like buying Capcom, for instance. You know, some this level 5 studio. Yeah, that's much more realistic.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But interesting though. I mean, if they could, because you know, if
none
anything,
of those games I care about, but.
Well, you know, I didn't play the second Ni no Kuni. I played the that first Ni no Kuni that was like basically like just, you know, the whole Pokemon acquisition thing with the spirits or the monsters or whatever it is that
Yokai Watch. That's what you're thinking of, Yokai Watch.
Well, whatever the appropriate. I don't remember it too well, but I enjoyed it enough for what it was. You know,
I throw Kunis in Ghost of Tsushima.
Did you say Kunis?
Yeah, I throw Kunis in Ghost of Tsushima.
Alright, then that's what I thought you said.
Yeah. So yeah.
The tweet comes from a non-verified person. It's just somebody saying according to gi.biz sources.
GamerInsider.biz sources.
I don't know who this is.
Okay, does that guy work for GI Biz?
No, it doesn't say that he is. GameIndustry.biz.
Cool. That's exciting. Okay. GamesIndustry.biz has broken a lot of stuff the last couple years. So, but if it's a random guy saying GamesIndustry.biz sources, that guy must be related to GamesIndustry.biz if he knows people. If he knows the sources of GamesIndustry.biz.
Probably.
Maybe.
That's weird.
Maybe.
Confusing. Yeah, I can totally see that happening. I agree with everything
I can see that happening.
So.
I think it'd be good.
Yeah, I'm sure they want more Japanese-centric developers. So
sure.
Because Nintendo has been kind of like trying to do that, and then Microsoft's even trying to get in on that. Even though I don't think Japan will ever accept Xbox.
No, they won't.
But maybe in like 50 years, Xbox and PlayStation.
But they need to show a dedication to that market that they've just quite frankly not been interested in showing all this time they've been in business. So it would require a paradigm shift that Microsoft as a company is just not interested in. So if it were me over at Microsoft, I'd be like, why even make that energy and effort if you haven't up to this point in time? Like, I just don't understand.
I mean, it'd be easy for them to buy level 5. They'd be like, we had leftover money from the Bethesda's thing. We still have room to buy more.
Sure.
That'll help them in Japan.
Sure.
I bet.
But again, they'd have to want to do that, and I just don't think they want to do that.
Yeah, neither do I. But, hey, maybe next Monday we'll wake up to a tweet being hey, Microsoft bought Sony.
You know, and the funny thing is, you know, like, sometimes the world of business moves super fast, just like this. Mm-hmm. But more often than not, it moves at the speed of mud. You know, it's just so arbitrary how, you know, deals shake out, shake down, or they just blow up. So, who knows? Hold on to your hats. But don't hold your breath.
But most likely nothing will happen for another 5 years.
Right on. Right on. That is it.
Any other remakes? Mon ami?
Hot takes?
I do have an Outer Worlds sequel is being worked on. Daniel Ahmed has actually done this one.
I know him.
Yep, Daniel Ahmed posts on Twitter. They're looking into pre-production with this, and currently they're looking to do for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PC.
Oh, still multi-plat, huh?
Uh-huh.
Why?
Nothing different with that yet, I think. They're Bethesda, correct?
No, they're Obsidian, which once was Bethesda, and Microsoft bought them 3 years ago. And then now, they're the people who made New Vegas. That's why people are so excited now for a New Vegas 2, because Bethesda is with Microsoft, which is with Obsidian.
Right.
Yeah.
So, which is, it's weird, but, I mean, cool, I guess. I really like the first game. The loading times just suck. It takes so long, and I'm so surprised that in every single review of that game, it's barely ever mentioned. Giuseppe, you watched me play for like an hour, and I did 20 minutes of gameplay.
Right. Yeah.
Like, oh, we have to go here. Oh, this reticle doesn't work. This waypoint doesn't work. Tells me to go over here. Oh, I walk that way. It turns around. I have to go that. Oh, nope. Oh, it's actually on another planet. Oh, go through here. Go through here. Go through here. Hey, it's been 20 minutes. I don't want to play anymore. So.
Yeah, that's
one of the games that I'm booting up on PlayStation 5 within the first couple weeks, because I gotta see how quick those load times are. Right. I know they'll be improved, but at the same time, will they be improved enough? I think they will be, because that game is still one of the funniest games I've ever played, and I've only played like 4 hours of it. It's very, like, the dialogue in it is very good. Like, it's really funny. Like, the world they built, that's a Giuseppe game. If there's a Giuseppe game, that's a Giuseppe game right there.
Oh.
If the loading times were better. No, because it's all about, like, corporations suck, the dialogue is witty and beautiful, and the gameplay's alright. It's a Fallout-like game.
Right, so. Yeah. Which I enjoy.
Yeah, I really think you would like it, but I wouldn't recommend playing it on a PlayStation 4.
I believe it. Yep. When push comes to shove, man, load times. Oh man, and not just the length of each load time, but also the frequency of the number of loads.
There's so many in that game, and some of them there's none shorter than 10 seconds. It's 10 seconds minimum, up to like a minute and a half for others.
Yikes!
like, where are you going? Like, what? Why do you need to do this? And I hate it. So I don't need it to run at 60 frames. I need it to run at 5-second loading times.
But so, faster would be better.
I got one last one here. So Forza 7. Is that what we're on now?
I think that's already out, isn't it?
No, Forza. Okay, maybe I don't know what the number is because it just says the next Forza game. The one that they showed off at the Xbox digital event, basically is nothing but just a pre-rendered CG thing. When what they said was it was all in-game engine, because the rumor is that this game is out actually over 3 years, and that they very, very prematurely showed something that was supposed to just be a rendered CG cutscene. This game is more than 3 years out because of the job postings that they just posted on here, which is community director, lead producer, product marketing manager, lighting artist, procedural technical artist, art development director, and producer UI team. They do not have any of these people currently hired in that for that game right now.
I mean, they probably still have something though. They probably still have like some sort of team. You don't announce a game and show a trailer without some team. They might be going through like a switch up right now. That's common for Microsoft Studios. But I can't imagine that one's. Plus, if they said this is in-game footage, you're not really allowed to lie about that because you can get sued heavily for that. Unless it said this is supposed to represent in-game footage, then that's allowed.
No, I think I remember seeing like this is in-game footage or something like that. I will have to
then it is probably in-game footage, but it's probably super short. It's probably like one tiny section.
It was like, okay, I think it was like less than 5 seconds that we saw of it. But yeah, you're correct.
Well, Forza Motorsport was announced. I think 8 was announced at the July
back in
event.
July?
Yeah, and there's a minute-long trailer for it. So I'm not quite sure, unless there's a different Forza.
That's the one they're talking about. They're just saying that this is more than 3 years out, that do not expect us anytime soon because that trailer that we saw represented nothing of the game. They have all these spots still waiting to be filled.
Now, where did this rumor come in?
This is from directly from the Forza Motorsport forums.
Oh,
Yeah.
the nerds.
And then this is a tweet from I think this is just somebody random on Twitter, Max Braden. I don't think he has anybody.
That might be
unless he
familiar,
is.
but I'm not good with names.
But yeah, this is one of the tweets that's put out along with the link in the actual tweet.
So the reason I call them nerds, no offense to them. We're doing a podcast in Minecraft, guys, on PlayStation 4. Like,
Right.
It's fine.
Right.
I'm just calling them who we are.
Don't worry
But
about it.
no, if it's coming from like them, yeah, they probably know more than Forza than like we do. So I would tend to believe this, but at the same time, like I can't imagine a Forza game being 3 years out that Microsoft announced. It's not like they didn't have the support for a Forza like recently or like
When was the
they
last
pump
Forza?
out a lot of those, like a lot.
The last Forza that was like what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Oh boy,
Is that the one where they showed the Lego McLaren?
That was just an update to one of their games.
Oh, okay.
Latest release is Forza Street from April 15th, 2019.
So last year.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Let me look them up. Forza 4, Forza 5, Forza 6. Forza 7 was 2017. Forza Motorsport is the one that was revealed in July 23rd.
Which is Forza 8.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I guess. They might just be calling it Forza Motorsport. They might just be starting over.
I mean,
Like, why continue to number them?
They did the same thing for like Fable. Fable is nowhere near. We're gonna see that game in like maybe 5 years.
And then Forza Horizon 4 that came out in 2018. So they have like two separate Forza. I don't know why we keep doing the T. There's no T in it.
That's how they
have
pronounce
two.
Yeah,
that's
that
weird.
is
I'm not doing that. No. There's no T. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
So Forza, then Horizon 4, that came out in 2018. So I would imagine, like these come out every 2 years. It looks like. So I wouldn't be shocked if we get a Forza Horizon, like a couple of years from now, because next gen. So there's probably a delay with that. So I have to imagine that this new Motorsport one is probably next year sometime. I can't imagine 3 years from now, or from when they showed it off. Like, that seems too far.
A lot of things that Xbox revealed are like 2 to 3 years out. None of these games are coming out next year.
A lot of them are far away, but at the same time, I can't imagine a Forza game. By the way, that Forza Street is the free-to-play racing game released on Windows 10 as Miami Street, but then re-released as a Forza title. I don't know why. Also, that came to Nintendo Switch. Interesting.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't. There's so much about this I don't understand. It's got it's predatory use of microtransactions. Good, cool. That makes sense. Free game. But yeah, it's certainly possible. I don't know. Forza Motorsport 2 was fantastic. I really like that one. Got 1,000 achievement score in that game back in the day.
Gotcha.
Wow, that was an awful lot.
It was a lot of driving. A lot of driving.
Also, a lot of time talking about a driving game.
Yeah. There was a race that I messed up in that. Wake up. We're still talking about it. There was a race in that Forza Motorsports 2 where each lap was like 15 minutes, and it was like a 6-lap race, and I lost on the last lap 4 times in a row. And I was like, ah!
A 6-minute race?
No, 15-minute laps.
15 minutes.
6 laps.
Good lord, that's...
Yeah, it was like an hour and a half race, if you did well.
That's excruciating.
I loved it. It was great. That's why I'm still thinking about getting Gran Turismo. Because even though I've never been like a Gran Turismo guy, like at this point, like I might as well try it.
I liken racing simulation games to golf. Better to do the actual thing than to watch the thing.
I would agree with that. Also, I don't like full simulations. I like an arcade simulation. That's why I think Forza Motorsport 2 was so good, because it wasn't Burnout, it wasn't Need for Speed. Need for Speed is garbage though. It wasn't Burnout, a good version of an arcade racer, and it wasn't simulation like a Gran Turismo. It was perfect right in the middle. But we'll see. We'll see when 7 comes out for Gran Turismo. Is there a release date for that? Anybody know?
Gran Turismo?
Yeah.
What's that launch window?
Oh, okay.
That's
so
not.
2021.
There's no way that's a launch window. Really?
It's a launch window.
It probably
maybe
is.
if the launch window is.
When's the last time a Gran Turismo came out?
That's what
It's
I'm
been
saying.
a hot minute.
It's been a real hot minute. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so I'm surprised it's not out now.
Whoa.
So
Yeah,
maybe this should
rumor
be
showing
awesome.
it is launch window.
Rumors or
Rumor as of a couple of news reporting websites saying it looks like it's launch window. It doesn't look like it's gonna.
Cool.
nothing's been announced, so there's no release date.
So if the launch window is up to 2025, yeah, it's very possible.
That's not how launch windows work, and you nail it.
As it pertains to Gran Turismo games, yeah, it does.
You know for a fact it only goes to 2024. Don't come out here.
My
with your
goodness,
lies.
you're right. My mistake. My
Yeah.
bad. My
Oh,
bad.
it's a leap year, 2026. So hey,
There you go.
just
Gotta get those stories straight. Gotta get it.
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. When the PS6 comes out and it's not backwards compatible for Gran Turismo 7, I'm gonna
Awesome.
be so upset.
I got another one.
Do it.
Final
Do it.
Fantasy 16 has wrapped up basic development and scenario production. Rumored date for this game is 2022.
I believe the date.
So wait a minute. Wait. So the basics, like, well, who even knows what that means if they really require 2 additional years of development, which inevitably is going to be extended to 3, if not maybe 4, because that's how Square Enix rolls.
So the way that they've explained this is that the demo that we saw was all in-game rendered. All they need to do is touch up the characters and the environments and stuff like that with textures. But they said that this is the one that they wanted us to see because they didn't want us to see a CG trailer like they normally do. They wanted to show how far they've gotten in the development, and according to what they've done, basic development and scenario production, including boss battles. They're continuing to create large-scale resources and build boss battles while expanding our various development tools. Most of their staff are carrying out their work remotely, so the game has not stopped development because of what's going on, obviously. I believe the base storyline, the base elements for the game have been created and all done with the scenarios. I think now they're just working on getting this game polished up and ready for 2022. What my question though is, if it's going to come in 2022, what does that mean for FF7 Remake Part 2?
It's probably earlier.
Different team.
We had, and it's
different team.
Yeah, different team, and it's probably earlier than that. I'm still shocked that it's being separated as much as it is, but whatever. Didn't we have a rumor?
2022?
Yes, again, we've talked about this before, where it just doesn't make any sense why it would take so long to put out a second part to a game that ends on a cliffhanger, unless on different generations. It blows my mind. But
it is going to be different generations.
You're telling me that the second part won't be also on PS4?
There's been no confirmation of that.
There's been no confirmation of PS5.
That's
They're
true.
saying, hang on. All right, go ahead, keep talking.
But with this one, didn't we have a rumor like a few weeks ago where, was it Jason Schreier or Imran Khan who said, this game's further in development than people realize?
Yes.
Somebody said that.
Yes, yeah, I believe it was Imran Khan saying that.
And then with the basic stuff, they probably have all the assets they're going to use. They're basically not at polish, but at this point, they just have to fine tune the game. They'll probably change a bunch of stuff. So they probably do need the 2 years. If it's a 5 to 6 year development and they're 3 years in, 2022 makes sense for me. So, but like Giuseppe said, it's Square Enix, so could be launching with Gran Turismo 7 in 2026. We don't know. So
I don't know. That seems like those 2 things those two statements, they don't seem to coalesce for me. Saying that they're done, and then also saying that they need 2 years to polish, that doesn't jive with me, not at all. That to me sounds like, I don't know, trying to get people a little pre hype is what that sounds like.
Yeah,
okay,
good.
yay, development.
Into that.
Great. Do you have something to show? No? Okay. Well,
I mean, they showed a bunch. Have
They
you
did.
watched it yet?
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it looks great. I'm super interested in it. I just want to know more about it because there's a lot of games out there that look gorgeous. How do they play? That's what I care about. And,
Mostly bad.
well, that's what makes the determination for my business.
So, from an interview with Tetsuya Nomura, with Famitsu did this interview, they asked them about the possibility of what this future of this FF7 remake looks like. Part 2 would most likely be on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. After that, Chapter 3 and onward would be exclusively to the PlayStation 5.
Chapter 3 and onward?
Onward.
And
Yeah,
onward.
we've already talked about this. That it's not. They don't know what they're doing with it. It will probably go on for a million games in 30 years.
It better not.
I know. It will. Prepare yourself. Yeah. So next version is coming to PlayStation 4, which is what I was saying. So that makes sense. Again, I can't understand how there would be like a 2 years delay between them. Maybe because of what's going on with the pandemic and all that crap, it's delayed it. But I can't imagine this was their original plan to put it years apart. That makes no sense to me.
But this is the thing. At the same time, though, the rest of the game, at least again, based on what Final Fantasy was before, there's basically a whole planet of locations to go to story-wise for FF7 Remake. And the whole first game was just basically taking place in one city. So there's a lot that they need to build from scratch to get those characters into those different parts of the world. Now, again, it could also very well be that the ambition for the FF7 Remake series of games, who knows if it's going to even be a trilogy now, it remains to be seen what they want to do. Like, do they want to keep it kind of like self-contained the way the first game was, but just in different areas? Or do they really actually want to open up the world to actually allow you to explore the world? Because there's a ton of locations that are vital to the story to make it go. That if they were just simply delete them and say, look, this is what you have to accept the new FF7 remake story is going to be, that would be a very off-putting thing, and it would confuse a whole heck of a lot of people too. It would be very, very confusing.
One other thing I'd like to add at the end of this, their plan for the first part of the remake, they're not going to be re-releasing this game on PlayStation 5. Instead, they're going to be relying on PlayStation 5's backward compatibility option in order to play FF7 Remake on the next-gen system. So if you need to catch up and play with the original game, and let's say the second part doesn't come out for PS4 but only comes on PS5, it's not going to be an issue for them. But if they ultimately have to put it on both, they will put it on both. But it looks like anything beyond 3 is not going to be on anything older.
Yeah, well, that would make sense going with their timeline of 7 years in between each game.
Right.
So it's confusing to me. I'll never understand this.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. That is very confusing to me. But also, I'd like to really know how they actually plan on making the data crossover. Like, how is it actually going to work? Because I have a very, very strong suspicion that you're not really going to have a situation where you're basically carrying everything over that you acquired and learned and, mastered material-wise from the first game over to the next game. I have a very strong, sneaking suspicion that they're gonna give you kind of like a very limited kind of like progress and experience carryover, in addition to whatever kind of items and material you've acquired, in order to bring those over to the game. Because there's a pretty OP artifact that you get by completing endgame, missions in Remake Part 1, that, you start Part 2 with that equipped, even if your characters all get leveled down to basically level 1 and say, okay, and now for Part 2 you just got to re-level and go all the way up. Even if you start a situation with like that, and you port over that one item, and you know what I'm talking about, Genesis, that still breaks the game for you. Even if you start playing it at hard difficulty level, at level 1, if you have that artifact, it breaks it. It's already broken.
I think it's going to have to just be not leveling us down, but just scaling these guys above us. Because I can imagine them going past level 100 at this point in time. Like, okay, you start at 50 and you go up from there. Even if you have that item,
or they don't give you those items to carry over,
or God of War it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It could be a God of War where they just take it away. Either way, either they don't allow those 100% of everything that you acquired in an RPG over to the second part of the RPG, or they just take it away from you arbitrarily. That people are not going to like that. People are not going to like that at all.
They could do, because you said you're going to set like different worlds. Like you go to a world and then that Tiger Cat thing's like, that artifact won't work on this planet because of the gravitational forces, and blah, 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 or some crap like that, and then you don't have that artifact.
Yikes is what I gotta say.
So
is yikes. I'd really like to know
what that Tiger Cat thing is.
Tiger Cat thing, okay.
But that's like one of the biggest mysteries for me hanging over in regards to the FF7 Remake series. How does experience, items, and materia carry over? Because leveling, that's honestly the easiest thing to figure out. You know what I mean? You level cap each game, and then you just keep pushing the level higher and higher. That's level scaling. That's an easy solution. Items and materia, though, that's another thing altogether, because people are putting in, well, heck, I haven't platinumed that game yet, but I've put in a whole ton of hours, and even though I've mastered a whole lot of materia, I haven't mastered all of them, but it's pretty easy to do on subsequent playthroughs and using the battle simulator. So I could theoretically just have so much. I mean, granted, they're going to introduce new materia for parts 2, 3, and X moving forward, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they incorporate it, because that could be a game-changing aspect to that series, or a game-breaking sensation to the player moving forward. I don't know. I mean, that's a big deal, and I really hope they put a whole lot of time, money, energy, effort, and thought into figuring that situation out. But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, years to do it, so hopefully.
Last one.
Do it.
Crash Bandicoot for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
What is the origin?
Spanish Twitter user Nintendata, also a early mention of a 5-year plan for Crash Bandicoot in a spring 2018 issue of Licensing Sourcebook Europe. I don't know what the hell that is. I'll look it up in a minute.
I don't know what anything you just said was, but keep going.
Okay. The plan included 2017 being the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy for PS4, 2018 Insane Trilogy releasing to other platforms, 2019 Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, 2020 Crash Bandicoot on the Run, and Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time. What's Crash Bandicoot on the Run? Is that a mobile game?
It might be a mobile game.
Yeah.
And then 2021 Crash Bandicoot crossover for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Okay.
I'd be shocked if they planned it that far in advance.
So this licensing book is basically, they're talking about a bunch of different brands and companies in this, and I guess, what they intend on buying these with? Oh, okay.
And when did this book come out?
This was 2018, so I'm trying to find the page that was talking about these 5 things. Let me see.
So these 5 things were already pretty well known at the time, I would think.
For 2018? Did we know that a new Crash 4 was coming?
Well, I'm assuming Activision knew.
They have one for Sonic the Hedgehog. They have one for Pokemon. They have one for... Where is this page that they're talking about here? Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible. I don't know if
What are your opinions on
Activision
him
and
being
Nintendo.
him being in Smash?
I mean, cool. More characters for Smash.
Yay.
At this point, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care who pops up in Smash. I don't play Smash.
Okay.
As long as people are happy who play Smash, cool. I know Crash, some people are going to be like, it's a PlayStation mascot. Not anymore, man. It's owned by the Call of Duty people.
Right.
So.
Right.
Also, there was some, I was reading some things about, Crash 4 sales.
Oh, yeah? What'd
Yeah,
they
but
say?
it was all rumors, like unsubstantiated rumors, really, and it was all like, so far they're disappointing, but since it came out now, like a month away from a new generation, like during this awful time, like it wasn't expected. I can't imagine that it was expected so well.
Let me say a couple things on that alone. I think there may be a few things going on with the sensation that there may be disappointment regarding the sales. I don't know what the actual sales numbers are for that game.
Yeah, neither do I.
And probably nobody ever will. Who knows? But my guess is, just knowing what that game is, knowing what they've shown, and comparing that to the current state of games, the current market of games that are out there right now, I don't see Crash as being anything more than a niche, mid-tier, mid-market, competitive title. It's not going to be anything that sells. I'd be stunned if it was approaching like the 3 to 4 million copy range. I'd be stunned.
Do we know how much the Insane trilogy sold?
I believe that sold quite a bit. Let me look for numbers in just a second.
Do a little research on that. Anyways, keep going.
But yeah, so to expect, and Activision would be definitely the company that would expect, hey, if you don't meet 5 million, it's a fail. 5 million copies, it's a fail. 8 million copies, it's a fail. In a way that not dissimilar to how EA treated Dead Space 2 and the sequel, Dead Space 3. Those games didn't meet a certain threshold for copies sold, and therefore it was a fail. Dead Space 3, absolutely, we can all agree that was just a failure on multiple fronts. Dead Space 2, however, that was a great expansion to the fiction, and it was a little bit of an expansion on the gameplay and the environments and doing things in that series. But because it didn't meet a certain sales threshold, it got the sour look, the side look from EA. So Activision putting those kind of expectations on a Crash game, no.
I think Activision's
no.
smarter than EA, though. I think they probably put realistic expectations. You got numbers?
I would definitely not give Activision that credit, and not at all. You're a far kinder person to that company than they deserve.
It's not kindness. It's just they run a business.
Yeah, they run a business, and
you can't. It would be stupid as a business decision to think that a game is going to sell 10 million copies when it clearly is not going to sell that much, or whatever it was for Dead Space 2.
And yet those expectations are always there.
Yeah,
they're always there.
Their high expectations are there, but I'll give a little more credit to Activision, because typically they make their games and then they provide sequels to their games. So, Genesis, you got numbers?
Yeah.
10 million after 2019 in February. That's the
10
last
million.
time
For the trilogy?
For the Insane Collection, yeah.
10 million?
Yeah.
That's for reporting of numbers. After that,
That is insane.
Okay.
How many? That is insane.
Right.
That can't be right. 10 million copies.
What do you mean it can't be?
Multiple news outlets have reported that. It's not one.
Yeah, they've probably released
how many
PlayStation
4s are out there in the ecosystem? 40 million?
How many PlayStation 4s are out there? You said 40 million?
How many? Yeah, how many?
There's 115 million PlayStation 4s, I believe. Also, it's on Switch and Xbox.
Yeah. So 10%. 10%.
I mean, no. It's also on PC, Xbox, Switch. Like it's not 10% of PlayStation 4 people have it. It's gonna be close to
10% because as far as I can read here, the vast majority is on PlayStation.
Yeah, because it released on PlayStation first, and then there was like a year delay before it came to anything else.
Yes, but the vast majority. So like, if I had to say out of the 10 million, I'd probably say like 7.5 million.
I would think it's less.
Well, if the trilogy sold 10 million, then expectations for that new Crash game selling what in excess of 8 million? Yeah, and now that makes sense. But I also still see it as being. I'm stunned. I'm stunned that 10 million copies of that trilogy.
People really wanted Crash.
Yeah. Okay. I'm still stunned by it. I'm still stunned. But now it makes more sense that Activision would have enhanced expectations sales-wise, and if the new game isn't making those numbers...
we don't know that, though.
No, but it makes even more sense. I would say that rumor would be even less substantiated if that trilogy had not sold anywhere near that amount, and then it makes sense that they would have tempered sales expectation goals for that game.
I don't think if that trilogy sold anywhere near that amount, they would even make another Crash. I think if it sold like 5 million, they wouldn't have even thought about making another Crash.
So percentages-wise, percentages of the Insane trilogy, 82% of the sales were on PlayStation 4. The remainder was split between Xbox One, Switch. That's from GameIndustry.biz again.
Oh wow, okay.
And then so far, the split of Crash Bandicoot 4 is 68% comes out on PlayStation 4. The remainder is Xbox One.
But there's no numbers?
I don't see any numbers.
Okay.
They're just showing
it's certainly possible that they could see their numbers, but they can't release the numbers to us because they probably pay for like a report that shows those numbers.
The only thing I see is that it's. Okay, you guys keep talking. I'll see if I can find it here.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. So,
I mean, hopefully they didn't set an expectation of it selling just as well as the Insane trilogy, because I don't think it will.
Yeah, no. The only number that I have here is in Japan, 10,000 physical copies were sold in the first week, making it the 5th best-selling retail game of the week in the country. That's the only number that I see. That's it.
Japan's not really.
That's nothing to write home about.
Japan's not really doesn't trend anywhere else. Doesn't really give information about everywhere else. But I mean, cool. I guess. Hopefully it sells well. Hopefully people like it, and hopefully we get a new one. I guess.
I'm still shocked that it sold that well.
I'm just surprised you're shocked at that.
I am shocked at that because what is the market for goofy platformers? That isn't Nintendo.
The demand was there, man.
I don't understand. I do not understand that demand. I do not understand it. I mean, look at who's leading the industry for games, and it's not goofy platformers.
Well, everyone who has money who's mainly the video game market was probably a child when Crash came out. So, and they wanted to relive. I know a lot of people who are like casuals who bought Crash and Spyro. I wouldn't be shocked if Spyro sold more.
I can look at that result for you too.
Yeah, look that up. I wouldn't be shocked if Spyro sold more. I bought Crash. Genesis bought Crash.
I bought both.
Yeah, I mean, I bought Spyro too, but
How much have you played it?
Spyro, I platinumed all 3 Spyros,
Yeah,
and I have beaten the first Crash. I'm working on the second Crash.
I beat all 3 Crashes. I got most of the trophies in Crash 2. I platinumed the first Spyro. The other 2 games I haven't played because I gave it to Casey to borrow.
Gotcha.
So, I've played them extensively. They're good games.
That's shocking to me.
I don't know how.
I'm shocked.
Crash
As
is
Sam
a good
Smith
game,
once
so
said,
Spyro.
the writing's on the wall.
But you know what? It's still not huge compared to the industry leaders.
Oh,
But
no.
I'm still shocked at that number. 10 million copies. Ooh, wow.
I know, you were thinking only 2.
Yes, I was.
That's dead.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't think I can get the.
Spyro numbers.
No, it's
I
only
probably
giving
didn't
me
do
like
as well then.
the first year. No, I'm sorry. The first couple of months in retail. First couple of months in retail was over 1 million units.
That's not that. It's not that great.
Sorry, first week. VG charts. I don't know
First
how.
week?
I don't know how.
VG charts is completely inaccurate most of the time.
Okay. So then I'm not gonna go by what they say. Hang on.
Yeah.
I can look for something else.
Yeah, if they didn't report sales, it probably didn't do as well as Crash.
Because they're also is that also Activision?
Yeah, that's Activision.
Okay.
Yeah, those were Sony IPs that they sold to Activision.
They would totally put 10 million though as the target. If they're not making that, then they're very
For a
upset.
follow-up, I don't know. I think they would lower it a bit.
Not a chance. Not with 10 million that's strong sales numbers from. I don't know how they would how they relate that in terms of their totem pole of IPs that they have under the Activision umbrella. I don't know where exactly they put that. Obviously, it's going to be lower on the totem pole, but if a collection of old games sold that well, then they would definitely expect a new one to at least match that. That's just basic. That's just basic retail expectations, sales numbers wise. That's just basic right there.
I wouldn't
They
think
would not
that
lower them.
because it's all nostalgia, and I would think they would have it by like 5 million.
That's ridiculous. You're giving them far too much thinking in the real world credit, and that's not how companies work. Not at all. They would definitely put at least as much sales expectations as the thing that just happened before. At least.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, you'd have to imagine that there's no way they think that.
I do not at all. I think the exact opposite. You're giving them far too much practical thought regarding their expectations.
I may be, but at the same time, you're not giving them enough because they're a business and they have a lot of minds behind them. I understand where you're coming from, and in a way, I do agree with you. But at the same time, you thought it was only 2 million.
by virtue of them having a lot of minds, that's just makes them better.
No,
that's
definitely not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's a company, and every thought they put into something, it goes through a lot of people, which can be good, can be bad, and at the same time, they're a company that has grown to make billions. So clearly, they've made good decisions in the past. So
and clearly, they've made bad decisions in the past too.
Yeah, absolutely, but they're still a billion-dollar company. So what I'm saying is, as much bad decisions as they've made, they still make billions of dollars a year.
Yeah, and
so
by
they
virtue
clearly
of
are making some good decisions.
but I'm not debating their decision making in regards to making money. If anything, that is even more suggestive of the fact that they would place higher sales goals in regards to newly acquired IPs, so that they will continue to fund future projects. They would not lower expectations. That doesn't make any kind of sense for their business model. That is literally contrary to the whole billions money making argument that you're making for me right here.
It's not, because I don't think they put as much money into the Crash 4 as they did the trilogy.
Because
Really?
I think it would be cheaper. Because they already had the assets and everything. It's basically running on the same crash engine as the previous game. And also, you don't have to remaster to, like, basically to a T every, like, the 3 past games. You're just doing one game, coming up with a few new things. But at the same time, like, I can't imagine that this was a very large investment for them. I mean, at the same time, like, I understand exactly what you're saying. Like, of course you would think, like, oh, the past one did good, because movies do this all the time, where, like, oh, this one did good, let's make another one, like, a spin-off, and it's going to do just as good or better. Like, it's stupid, but Hobbs and Shaw still did well, but yeah, they were like, oh, it didn't do as well as the other ones, even though we got 2 of the bigger stars from it. But Jason
not
Statham
the
and The Rock don't do well in China, so.
Right, well, that's a thing.
For some reason, Vin Diesel is really well loved. Yeah, he's really well loved in China. Yeah, I don't know. Some actors are just really good in China. I have no idea why.
Family. Ugh.
Yeah, big gruff white guy.
Yeah,
China.
Whatever works.
Even though he's not white. I don't know. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but I'm not going to dismiss, like, oh, they're a corporation, they automatically think this one will sell 15 million. I guarantee you they
I don't
do
think
not
they
have
would,
the highest expectations.
I don't
I'm
think
giving
they
them
would
more
say
credit
give
than
them,
EA.
which I still don't understand where that's coming from. If for any other reason, the whole response to that kid and the Hong Kong comments about the whatever the Hearthstone thing, if that is like the only other thing to consider in regards to what EA's expectations for, Activision Blizzard's expectations for themselves as a company, and having some kind of a cohesive thought moving forward in regards to their products, how it relates to the community, and how that translates into market share. That if that's the only other thing that you consider, there's no way that you should give them more credit.
And it's not the only other thing I'm considering. That really has nothing to do with this.
It doesn't, but it is reflective of a similar kind of mindset coming from the company and how it relates to the market. And I just don't think that they would just naturally lower expectations for the newer Crash thing. I think it makes all the sense in the world to at least match it. It would not increase it, and they would certainly not decrease expectations sales-wise by 50% if the previous thing, regardless of what was inside that previous thing, sold 10 million copies.
I think they would have to. There's no way they think it's going to sell 10 million. There's no way they think it's going to match. There's no way.
Other than the perfectly reasonable way. Perfectly reasonable and honestly very predictable.
Side note, Ghost of Tsushima has done 2.4 million in the first 3 days.
Yeah, we knew that.
What are their sales to date? Any clue on that? Or?
Nothing. I've been looking at that as of recent. I do not see that.
Sony only does like milestones. They don't really ever do like anything else. So I'm assuming it hasn't hit 10 million.
No, I'm assuming it's past 5. I don't think it's hit 10, but it's past 5.
I would guess it's past 5. I would think it's around. It's probably close to 10, if anything.
I'm shocked that it's not.
It's probably less.
Yeah, I'm shocked that it's not.
I would think
now.
it would be around 10. It came out in July. Has Last of Us 2 said it sold 10 million?
Last of Us 2, the only thing I see about that is in its weekend of release, there was 3.3 million sold.
Yeah, that's. I would think that's at 10 million now.
I would think that the sales accumulation for those two games in particular, Last of Us 2 definitely very heavy on the front end and has definitely significantly tailed off since. I would say it's a little bit opposite for Ghost. I think they had, decent sales numbers out the gate, but as that word of mouth continued to just pump that game up, because quite frankly, it's got everything that everything that everyone's been talking great about that game, it's got that and more. So I can only imagine that those numbers are just they got to be trending even more higher on the arc, on the upswing for Ghost, especially as we approach the holiday season. Yeah, I think
they're probably
those two,
both still selling really well.
I think they're. If I had to guess, I would guess that those sales trends are going in opposite directions for both of those games.
Yeah, I would think Ghost is steady, and I would think Last of Us 2 has tapered off a little bit, but I think Last of Us 2 has probably outsold Ghost by multiples. So.
I don't think it. Honestly, I think
As
when the
loud
year,
as the people who hate it on YouTube are, they're still the minority.
yeah, that may be so, but I have a very strong, like, I would definitely put money on Ghost of Tsushima come the end of the year, outselling Last of Us 2.
Oh, all right. How much?
I would put money on it.
How much?
I said I would put money on it, but I don't have
yeah,
any
how
money,
much?
so I put
Let's
$0.
put something on it. Come on, I'll take this bet.
No, I don't have any money to put down, so
Let's
said
bet
if I had
something
money.
then.
Bet your I don't know, bet something on Minecraft.
put something on Minecraft.
All right. If I win, you have to make a statue of me. If you win, I have to make a statue of you.
There you go.
Okay,
It's
fine.
really dumb, but at the same time, I'll take that bet.
Sure.
You're gonna regret. Hell yeah.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Ooh, we'll see. I
game-
mean, if numbers ever get released, but
One
We'll
game
see.
one game is objectively good. One game is subjectively good.
we'll see.
Oh, we will see. And honestly, this whole business with the multiplayer is just going to that's gonna send Ghost into a completely different stratosphere. It's transforming the game in a way that nobody was expected, and everyone is going to absolutely love.
Oh, hopefully.
I don't know, man. I don't see anyone looking at that like this new iteration of Ghost and looking at that and saying, "Oh boy, that's a step in the wrong direction right there." I don't see it.
If the servers
I
don't
see it.
work, because Sucker Punch has not made a multiplayer game.
True, but if they can't make the logistics of the base mechanics of their thing go, then they shouldn't be in business at all. They should be able to at least make the thing go. They really should.
This game is still as of September, so I don't have October or anything like that. But as of September, Last of Us is still the third highest selling game of the year.
What does that mean, though?
Let me get a comparison of what the other highest selling games
Animal
are.
Crossing's number one, probably.
I would assume so. Let's see. Highest of 2020. Okay, so yeah, it's Call of Duty, Animal Crossing, Last of Us 2.
Yeah, but no numbers, so.
No, but
I'm assuming numbers will be released eventually.
I would assume so. Fourth place comes in with FF7. Fifth is Ghost of Tsushima. Sixth is Madden NFL. 7, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. 8 is MLB The Show. And 9 is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And 10 is Mortal Kombat 11.
Mortal Kombat 11. Man, they're still making Mortal Kombat games. Man, oh man.
Yeah, they are.
Yikes.
People like them.
I love how they've just totally like just sold out to the whole. Hey, we're just they basically turned into like the whole Smash formula. Let's just pull in all these different IP characters into our tourney fighter, just to spruce it up. And suddenly the spruce is the lifeline. That's all they got left.
Honestly, yeah, a lot of people are just looking forward to that game with that. That's it.
Yeah, it's like, what other character are they gonna put in? You know, it's gonna be like,
Aren't they
honestly,
putting,
they're gonna bring in Rocky Rocky's going to be in the next.
Yeah, I think Rocky is.
Rocky
No, it's
versus
Rambo.
Rambo.
Sorry, Rambo. I just thought of yes.
We're going to say like the novelty of actually having Rocky fight Rambo. That's what it's going to happen, I'm sure.
And now you got Rambo fighting the Terminator. So.
Oh yeah, the Governator. That's great. Oh boy.
All right, we've been going about 2 hours and 21 minutes here. What do we want to do?
I got nothing left.
Oh,
I think. I'm
yeah,
surprised
we
that we went
probably-
over this much.
We got into a good one there at the end with Activision and EA and sales and stuff. So
It would be really nice though if we actually had like real numbers to back any of these thoughts.
Numbers be great, but in a perfect world, I'm not subscribing to get actual numbers.
Still be nice, but again.
Remember when they
transparency.
used to release those? Good times.
Did they?
The only one who
I don't
they
ever
used to
remember a
release them.
time that was like really definitive.
They would release them in the PS3 360 era.
Oh, okay.
They would release them, the NPD reports. They would release like number estimate, not estimates, but like numbers rounded.
Uh-huh.
And then they were like, we're going to stop doing this. And then they turned it into, hey, if you subscribe in the game media, you can see these numbers, but you can't report them to people.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to take a guess of what the best-selling games of all time is? Top 3?
Best selling game of all
That
time.
dumb Wii one. It's going to be Wii one. Wii Sports, technically, because it was included in the bundle or whatever.
All right, so let me take your actual guesses. Adam, go ahead.
Wii Sports, I would guess. All time. Or best selling.
Skyrim.
No.
Okay. Giuseppe, is that your first one?
That's my first one. I'll say Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
Oh, God, no.
I'll say great selling all time. A game that everyone has. A game that everyone has.
Easy. Oh, fuck. Dude. We're fucking in Minecraft.
Minecraft, yeah.
I'm going Wii Sports, Minecraft, Tetris.
Okay. Giuseppe?
Oh, fuck. GTA 5's probably in there, too.
GTA 5. Yeah.
Okay,
GTA 5
hold
is
on.
massive.
Okay,
GTA
I'm gonna
5.
go...
Wait, are you giving me another? Wait, Adam, are you?
Yeah, okay, hold on. I'm gonna go
Uh-huh.
Minecraft... No, GTA 5, Minecraft, Tetris. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, and then Giuseppe?
Well, I don't have a rank of order, but yeah, GTA 5 for sure. Call of Duty and Minecraft.
So, Adam, I wish you changed your order.
Why? Fuck!
You were literally exactly the 3 games. You had number 1 and number 2 swapped.
What? Tetris is number 2?
No, Minecraft number 1, Grand Theft Auto 5 number 2, Tetris number 3.
What?
Now, when they say Tetris, do they mean every iteration of Tetris or just the plain
Tetris, the platform, a mobile platform. So the mobile
Yeah.
game.
Tetris has to be number 1. There's no way.
Minecraft is number 1, 200 million copies.
Yeah.
Yeah, GTA 5 is like 115?
30 million.
Oh, Jesus, that's even higher than I thought.
Tetris
And
is
then-
100 million.
I swear Tetris is
Giuseppe,
more.
you were spot on with GTA 5. Modern Warfare 2 is in the list. That is down by 22 million as a total.
What are you using?
This is a
Wikipedia?
what's the reference? Wikipedia, and then the references that they have.
Oh, Wii Sports is number 4, baby.
What was
I
the
knew
third
that
one you
was in
had,
there.
Giuseppe?
What's that?
What was the third game you had? You had You had GTA 5, Modern Warfare, and what else? I don't know.
Gosh, I totally blanked on it. Minecraft, GTA 5, and Call of Duty. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You said Minecraft.
I
I'm
had
sorry,
I had
didn't realize.
Minecraft. I had Minecraft number 1. Minecraft.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody's mentioned Pokemon.
There's too many of them. For
So
me to even
which
care.
one though?
Red, green, blue, yellow.
Oh, okay.
That was 47 million.
Yeah, that
I'm also
was, yeah, I
surprised
guess that
that,
was okay.
well, actually, Adam, you said the Wii Play or Wii Sports?
Wii Sports, because it was bundled in, so I know that's higher.
82 million.
Yeah, I
Yep.
remember.
So as many Wiis. As many Wiis.
I'm also surprised nobody mentioned. Well, actually, Giuseppe, you mentioned Skyrim. That was 30 million.
Yeah, Skyrim. Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody mentioned Mario Kart 8.
It wouldn't occur to me that
Mario
Mario
Kart-
Kart 8 would be like the number 1. Is
I
that the
know
most
Mario
recent one?
Kart. Yeah,
Okay.
Mario Kart I know sells a lot, and I know Mario Kart is the best selling. Or Mario Kart 8, I believe, is the best selling Mario Kart.
Mario
because
Kart
it-
Wii is the best selling with 37 million.
Is
and
it
then Mario
really?
Kart 8 is 35.
Because Nintendo, because we talked about the Nintendo releasing their numbers. Mario Kart 8 was like one of the only games that sold like hotcakes on the Wii U, and then they brought it to Switch with some tweaks, and it's still selling like hotcakes. So,
It's crazy.
I got one last question, and I guess we can
Holy
get this
fuck.
done.
Yo, you're
What?
dropping some bombs over there.
IGN has Tetris as number 1, with Venture Beat Tetris has 425 million paid mobile downloads,
That's insane.
in addition to 70 million physical game sales. So on IGN's article, Tetris is number 1, Minecraft is number 2, and GTA is number 5. I was right in the eyes of IGN, so I was wrong in real life.
What are the top 3 best-selling video game franchises?
Tetris.
Tetris is.
Go ahead.
I guess yeah, there are different Tetris games. I guess that counts.
So, Adam, give me your 3
Franchises?
franchises.
Oh boy.
want-
It's probably
do you
gonna
wanna
be. I don't know. Yeah, just have you go first, I guess.
Pokemon, Warcraft, and Call of Duty.
Ooh.
Pokemon, Warcraft, and Call of Duty. Okay.
Okay. You're probably right with Pokemon, but I'm not gonna do your answers. I was thinking Call of Duty, but I'm not gonna do your answers. I will go. Let's fucking go. Let's do a Mario Kart.
GTA.
Why not? Let's do. I'm getting there.
So, are you saying Mario?
Is that Is Mario a franchise?
Mario's the franchise.
I'm going Mario.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go. I'll go GTA. I don't think it's gonna be there, but I'll go GTA. And then I will also go Final Fantasy. Fuck it, why not?
Okay. So, you guys, I think, only had one of each. So Giuseppe, you had one right, and then Adam, you had one right.
Tell us.
The top is Mario as the highest franchise at
Baby.
652 million sales across his entire franchise. The second, Adam, I wish you kept it. Tetris, 495 million total sales.
Oh, I forgot about Tetris. I literally said
You did say
Tetris.
that.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I just moved on and named 3 games.
Third is Pokemon with 368 million across the franchise.
Yeah.
Just to let you know,
those are
Grand
three
Theft Auto
strong.
was number 5.
Right.
Call of Duty was number 6. And Final Fantasy was 11.
Where's Warcraft?
Warcraft is...
I'm stunned that's not a top 10. Because Warcraft as a franchise, you're talking about all the Warcraft like RTS games plus all of the WoW games. That's a lot. That's a lot. A lot of global lot. I'm stunned that that's not like a top 10.
Oh.
Is that even on there?
Oh, God.
if it's not on there, it shouldn't.
Well, God,
that's
why?
That's not a good list.
Use your
Warcraft.
words.
Warcraft has only sold 19 million.
Warcraft as a
What?
franchise? That's false. That cannot. That is.
So this is on. Let me find the proof from this. Introduction to Vivendi. Archive from the original.
That can't be, because that, like, what was it, the first
Isn't there
year?
a free version of Warcraft?
So they're taking this from. what's this webpage?
I don't know, but even when
I thought there was a free
started,
version.
there was like 20 million people playing Warcraft when it first started with the first game. Like,
Yeah,
the
I think
base.
there was a free version though.
Well, that's a recent thing, but
Oh, is it?
yeah, it hasn't always been free, and certainly not for a long time. I mean, like, for the longest time, that is the strongest, like, pay per either subscription and for, subsequent expansions. I don't know how they're counting that, because, like, 19 million, that does not seem accurate at all, considering, like I said, parts 1, 2, and 3 of the RTS game. You could also theoretically count StarCraft in with the Warcraft franchise, because it's the same thing.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
And then also you factor in all of the World of Warcraft stuff. So there's no way 19 million is an accurate sales number for Warcraft as a franchise. There's no way.
So
There's
yeah,
no way.
I'm not gonna go with. I will find the correct number for you, because this is going based off of a 2008 article that was 19 million units sold since 1996 till 2008. So no, that would be incorrect. I will find the correct number for you.
I mean, 96
Well,
to 2008 is the high point of Warcraft, I would say.
Yeah. But I also wouldn't necessarily put it higher than any of those other, like those top three.
What do you think it's at?
I would think it would be a top 10 at least.
No, I mean,
Warcraft.
like, number-wise. What do you think it's at? If 19, like, if not 19, what do you
So let me
thinking?
clarify, because it does say something else. It says this figure does not include World of Warcraft and Hearthstone.
Oh, what? Then it's flawed numbers. You can't
This
have
figure does not include the main entries of the video game
that. Yeah,
that we're
doesn't make any
describing here.
sense.
So I
The
wonder
fuck?
what this is.
Yeah, that doesn't make it.
Adam, God of War sold 32 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
Yeah, I would say
Thanks.
that those we would be able to use those numbers if we suddenly, like, discount all of the Mario main entry games and just only count the racing games, the sport affiliate games, the tennis games, and, like, the soccer and all that.
Oh, those ones sell more than the other ones. I'm serious. Like, Super Mario Odyssey wishes it could do Mario Kart numbers.
Yeah.
Kingdom
But
Hearts
if
is
you
not
were to
30
remove
million.
all the main titles, then those numbers will still be good, but they wouldn't be number one.
Those Mario games, that Mario franchise, it only includes Luigi's Mansion. That's basically what you've said. That's a good comparison, right?
Luigi's Mansions. That's interesting.
Wow!
There's no sales figures on this one, but
You wanna end us here, or
okay. Bye.
I feel like we've been going.
Crafting and chat. We'll see you guys later. Bye. See you later. Have a nice night. Bye.
Well,
Wow.
Okay. Well, one, it's not your job to do that, so I'm still going. I'm waiting for Giuseppe to do it.
I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
I know. I know you didn't do it. Giuseppe,
That's it.
take us home.
That's about as dismissive an ending as I've ever heard. So,
Giuseppe, tuck us in.
Yes, we're talking to you guys all in tonight. We would like to thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. Our 3 to 4 loyal subscribers and viewers out there. We appreciate you.
I'm only at 3 subscribers. I lost one.
We got nothing but love for you. Everyone enjoy games, enjoy each other. Be nice, don't be a dick. And we're signing off for Crafting and Chat. It's Adam, it's Genesis, and your boy Giuseppe Jones. Have a good time, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Next week, twitch.tv/crafting and chat. Bye bye.
YouTube.com/craftingandchat. Bye.
All right.
Guys, I